There's a dog barking downstairs. Damn it, doggo. All right. Hopefully it's not super loud. Been a while, that's for sure. That's pretty loud. Jesus, that's very, very loud. All right, how is... I hope everything sounds okay. Okay. So, been a while since we played this game. Just to remember, I'm gonna go through my head what we've done last time, or last, like 5 months ago. I think I remember, but this is like a brief recap. So, there's a reality TV show called Buried Stars. There are 5 contestants, and our main character is the fourth place contestant. Don't remember his name. I don't remember. I think there's Gyunhyuk is one of their names. That's it. That's all I remember. Name wise. They're on a reality TV show called Buried Stars, trying to compete. Then something happens on the show where they get buried alive, and it's 5 of them plus 1 production guy who are all buried under the stage. They thought their producer was with them, but the producer is dead because they find their dead body. They're trying to find some shelter and just kind of waiting for people to save them when the supposed ghost, or somebody masquerading as the ghost of the producer, is essentially saying I think it's like every 2 hours, whoever is the lowest in the rankings will die. And if I hit resume, we should be talking to the 5th place person in a dressing room, from what I recall. This was all off the top of my head. Yeah, that's right. So all I remember is that this game has a lot of talking. Like a lot of talking. Yeah. I don't remember. Can I play this game with controller? I don't think I can, but I'm gonna check. Because I don't remember if I was playing this game with controller or not. There's a sanity meter. There's a bunch of stuff that really gets involved. I'm just gonna... wow, you can actually play with controller. Makes no sense to, though. If I recall correctly, yeah, so we have a watch. We press S. So there's social media, messenger, rank. We play as Dooyoon. That's right. Gyuhyuk is the 1st place dude. I remember him. So Gyuhyuk has over 1 million votes, and it's the public who determines their fate. Jooyoung Min is in 2nd. Ina Oh is in 3rd. We play as Dooyoon Han, who's in 4th. We're speaking with Hyusung Seo, who is in 5th. Who he's being told that if he doesn't get his act together, he will probably die. There's an auto write message. I don't know really what that does. Contacts. So this just gives us some information about who we're playing, like who the characters are. All of these people want to be like famous and stuff. I hope it's not super loud, but please let me know if it is. Yeah, Seal Chang is the producer dude, and then Sungyeon Shin is the producer who she's dead. There's also apparently 1 more character, but we haven't met them yet. Memo, we get these little like cards to just kind of show what we know. But I think, if I recall correctly, we are actually missing some. I think. There's somewhere where it tells us like the percentage. We could also call people. I don't remember what that does. There's recordings, which we already have all of them. Is it, is it escape? Collection, here we go. So the collection tells us like everything we've heard. call wise, I think we need to call people at some point. There's scenes, documents, other. We have seen all the other keywords. Yeah, so keywords we're at 100% for 1. We are at 95 for some reason at 2. We didn't get this, even though I swear I've gone through everything. But we'll see later. But there's others that we're missing. There's 3. Maybe we have to go back later, but there's no timeline thing right now. Yeah, it's interesting, that is for sure. There's still 1 character we have not met yet. And challenge, which is achievements and such. So we'll figure this all out later. For now, before we talk to Hyusung Seo, because he wanted to talk to us about an idea. I think he wants us to just give up, because he doesn't want to die. Let's first go to social media. So we can go to social media, and there's a bunch of like posts from other people. We obviously don't need to read every single one. I'm just been kind of like reading through it, like really like I'm just gonna read really quickly to myself just to kind of get an idea and recap y'all. How could Hyusung know about the death of producer singing on first? Yeah, they're posting stuff. So might be unhappy, but I'm still fine. Seeing these comments. If this was taking place on air, the judges and staff would have helped you, but they're not around. No. Yeah. And they're posting the fact that there's somebody who is dead. And you have people who are fans of just others who are also like, yeah. Social adaptation. WBS News confirmed dead person identity at the X inside of Bird Stars first. So it's saying that there's 1 dead body so far. But there's also important information, which we don't see. Okay. Oh, we could reply. That's right. So some of these we could actually reply to. So here we go. So internal conflict. Now that Sungyeon is dead, Beastars is pretty much doomed, isn't it? What do you BSD Baihan? What do you say? Everyone will be happy if you decide to come back. I don't think this is the right time to think about that. I should be thinking about this right now. I don't think this is the right time to think about that. So I shouldn't have asked when it's chaotic with in and without. But now I have no idea what's going to happen. We don't consider recruiting new bases just yet. I wonder if Woosak will continue to stay with us. I kind of messed things up with him twice already. Band members who sided with him are still there. He thought about them for a while. He thought about the moments of the band going through hell. He quietly bit his lower lip. Conflicts. New profile. They got an opportunity to sign a record deal with an agency thanks to their vocalist, but the agency demanded changes to their lineup and musical style. Doyoon objected to their demands and the record deal fell through. It was time to wrap up the conversation. Okay. Is there anything else we can do? Is there other things we can respond to? But there is. So if I recall correctly, there's a lot of like saving that we need to do. We want to save after every conversation just because it makes it easy. So let's just take a look. Okay, we can reply here. So is Sungyeon, who is the dead person, seeing these comments? So it must have been knocked out already. If this was taking place on air, the judges and staff would have helped you, but they're not around you. I didn't get any info help from anyone. Let's see. This will go on forever if we don't do something about it. Ever since Doyoon accepted a friend request from him, he continued to send rather sarcastic and offensive messages. Doyoon decided to get serious and retort. Did I get any unfair help from anyone? Don't make lame excuses. If you're not favored by the staff, why did some of the contestants get completely edited out? Only your mouth is alive. You forget who has ruined the band for a debut. Wait for me to inform Sungyeon of this comment. I'm already busy with all these issues here. He decided to check out new mentions later. So, since that went down, we can check the other one. So we go to yes. We want to be checking quick saves a ton from whatever call. Yeah. Mind your own business, not mine. This user has been posting negative comments. See it again. Mind your own business, not mine. Yoon is revealing his true colors now. That concept is already being used by Hyosung. Did you get his permission? Lol. No, Doyoon the betrayer certainly wouldn't have done it. He seems to have lost touch with reality while being favored by staff. You want me to inform Hyosung about this? Then you can get all the spotlight you want. Oh, but we didn't lose anything. Cool. Is there anything else that we can talk about? Not seeing anything. Yeah. Okay, nothing. Sweet. That's not the right button. Fuck. And a quick save. Can I call people? Because I think he only wanted to talk to us alone, but I can just call. So Ji Young Min is second. It's me. Is Hyosung doing okay? Well, what are you doing? Hang up the phone right now. He wants me to hang up the phone. Okay, try to talk it out. Listen, I'm calling. Not a good time to make a phone call. How are the others doing? So we get one call. Damn. Well, we can go back later. We'll see. All right, let's talk to him. So he's super happy. We want to keep it that way, but we need 6 keywords before we can move on. So let's talk about him. Criticism dominant. Hyosung's careless exposure of Sung-yeon's death was criticized by the survivors as well as many Fader users. Fader being the game's Twitter. I'm taking flack from inside and out. Nobody's on my side. I forgot, I gave him Adachi's voice. That's right. Or I remember, rather, sorry. Which side do you think I'm on? You're annoying, but you understand the language at least. How am I annoying? Ask me a question like this with that innocent look on your face? Hyosung clicked his tongue. When the others, like the viewers, or the comments say that you're a betrayer, you never seem to respond. Are you suppressing your anger, or do you not feel anything? I like these little cutaways too. That's some heavy stuff. I have to catch you when your guard is down so I can get the real response. Now give me a real response, I'm curious. Hyosung's eyes lit up as he was rushing Doyoon for an answer. That's real. Are you saying you're at loss for words? I didn't think I would be, but I think I can understand that in some ways. I also get tongue-tied sometimes. When I see someone babbling nonsense, I end up giving up on answering. Hyosung lowered his head and mumbled to himself. Doyoon scratched his neck and pondered what to say. They called me a betrayer because that was the truth in their eyes. Truth in their eyes? What you see could be different from what really happened. Hey, his report went up. Nice. In that sense, I feel a sense of kinship. Sympathy. Hyosung said that he sympathized with Doyoon, but he didn't say why. I mentioned Sung-yeon to provoke Sung-yeon, so I guess it's practically over for me. We don't know that. Don't you think I know how messed up my image is after appearing on the show? Blue keyword victim. Hyosung's arrogant and rackety image created by the show led to his bad reputation. Rapport event! Sweet. So, since we're good friends with him, we can do things. You think so too? What are you talking about? Do I look like a bully to you? Hyosung suddenly asked a question. Is this about the post on Fader? Hey, it's not about that, just in general. Just tell me how I look. You look immature. Fair. That hurts. Can you ask me how you look? Hyosung clicked his tongue, looking at the ground. Fine, you're right. I've been immature throughout my life. But I was never a bully. I wasn't a good student, to be honest. But I was loyal to my friends. Friendship really mattered to me. You know that kind of person, right? Of course. Is that kind of a person what you call a bully? Not really. Hyosung glanced at Doyoon while talking. Yeah, I bugged others sometimes, but frankly, Hyosung closed his mouth. Frankly, what? It's nothing. I'm feeling bitter all of a sudden. You think I harass my classmates, don't you? You don't get to decide how I think of you. I brought it upon myself. Nobody even questioned if it was true. As soon as it came out, people believed it without a question. Doyoon wanted to bring up Hyosung's criminal record, but he didn't. Anyway, I'll remember you calling me immature. You asked for my opinion. Reaction keyword, effective branding. Hyusung accepted that he had a hot temper, but he seemed troubled at the thought of the rumor being rendered as truth right after it was revealed online. Nice. Fault. Hyusung admits that he was not a good student. He had no interest in studying and cared more about experiencing fun incidents or having friendship. Alright, quick save. So much quick saving, because it's actually hella important. Sungyeon's death was first disclosed by Hyusung, then covered by the media pretty soon. In addition, the Beastar's official account also confirmed her death by offering condolences. The timing was terrible. The news came on immediately after, and they made an announcement through the official account. It's like I acted out even before the official announcement was even made. You didn't have to write it while arguing with Sungyeon. Don't they piss you off? Ooh, shit. Seeing what Sungyeon is doing, upset but trying to suppress anger. I'm going to flip out. Let's say upset but trying to suppress anger. We're trying to appeal to him. Of course they do, but I'm suppressing my anger. And so is everyone else. Shit! That's bullcrap! Sungyeon insulted Sungyeon, who is just one of this accident's poor victims. You're supposed to join me fighting Sungyeon. Well look, I'm the only one that's getting lashed at. You're just afraid of taking damage for getting entangled with me. Hypocrite. Hyusung complained and called the other survivors hypocrites for criticizing him more than Sungyeon, who was making fun of Sungyeon. I'm sure the others are surprised too because you suddenly wrote about Sungyeon. I admit that I got carried away a bit, but I was also shocked by what happened to Sungyeon. I couldn't stand to watch them acting like Sungyeon. Thought they would take a hike if I caught them off guard. Although it didn't seem to work. Reason for posting. Hyusung felt that he has to do something about Sungyeon, who is impersonating the lead producer, so he revealed her death to the public to make them shut up. Interesting. Hyusung scratched his neck frantically after finishing what he had to say. Do you think I'm a baby? Did you really think you can convince me into following you out? No, I didn't. Your eyes are telling me so. You talk to me like I'm a baby. Am I right? Admit it. Hyusung pulled at his shirt collar and glared at you. Nope. But you want to know what else I feel? I feel reloading, because we want to try to take the best path possible, so that way because our mental state, the bar on the right side that you guys can see, our mental state carries between conversations. Frankly, I'm angry too. I was looking for the right timing. I knew you were a trustworthy person, but you made a bad choice earlier. Dude, listen to me. Sungyeon got insulted by Sungyeon even after she died. You're supposed to join me fighting Sungyeon. But look, I'm the only one that's getting lashed at. You're just afraid of taking damage for getting entangled with me. So hypocrite, switch word spread. And they got carried away a bit. I was still shocked at what happened. So yeah, you're saying the same thing. Oh, so if we choose bad responses, he starts getting angry at us. Ooh. Interesting. Hyusung and Strange. Hyusung split from the group after having conflicts with the other survivors. What? Why did I run? Why are you asking me this when you already saw and heard the whole thing? It's dangerous by yourself. I know, you don't think I'm scared? But whether I stay there or not, it's still dangerous. The mark that nowhere is safe. This place is more dangerous. Something serious could happen here, dude. It's a closed off dressing room. It's more dangerous in here. You could be in big trouble. Nice. Wow, how compassionate of you to worry about me. Don't be sarcastic. I'm not being sarcastic, that's why I called you first. It seems as though you didn't get it when I said it's dangerous for me whether I stayed there or not. If I stay there, they'll either take my watch or tie me up by my hands and feet. No one would go that far. You're such a fool sometimes. What are you talking about? Never mind. Anyhow, I came here to protect myself. I'm not getting out until we come to a conclusion. Self-defense. Hyusung argued that he left to protect himself because he was afraid the others would try to restrict his actions. Based on the group, I doubt they would do that, dude. Like, I truthfully, from what I remember 5 months ago, I remember that everyone's actually really nice. I don't think anyone, except for Seal. Seal hates people. That's besides the point. Dropout request. Hyosung called out Do-yoon to force him to resign. He'll probably do the same to the other contestants. 4 of us would have made it to the next stage during this episode. If one person drops out, there will only be 4 left. You can't have everything your way. Don't spoil it for me. You must think I'm soft because I was nice to you. Do you think you'll be okay if I decide to attack you? But you're not doing that. Right, it's ridiculous. I guess I'm softer than I thought when I'm with you. I think you'll be nice to everyone else. Hyosung, what you're doing now is pointless. I think you should give up now and go back to... I don't want to hear that, okay? If you ever want me to stop doing something, just tell me to keep going. Or if you want me to keep doing something, tell me to stop. So he likes to be super rebellious, makes sense. If that's what you want, keep asking us to drop out. Okay, fine. Hey, that's different from what you said. I'm the one who started this, it's up to me. We're not even sure if B-Stars will continue. You're slow, the official count showed us a clear sign. They'll try to continue the show by saying something about continuing what Sung-yeon had left behind. I'm certain. I'm going all in with my expectation. Getting eliminated from the show as the last rank and going back to my place where there's nothing? I can never allow that. Hopes of it continuing. After reading posts on the official account, Hyosung now thinks that the show will resume. Interesting. Hyosung scratched his neck frantically after hearing what I had to say. That's the baby line. Interesting. So, but like we need that. So we need to actually see that line. Interesting. Murder threat. An anonymous user, Sung-yeon, claiming the contestant last place would die at 2:00 a.m. It sounded like a murder threat, which I think is in 10 minutes. Did you read their posts? They're unbelievable. Talking about how the person last will die, we have an assassin in town. What are they going to do? Come in and do a sword dance in front of me? They're just babbling nonsense. Do I look like I give a crap? Hyosung smiled wickedly. Beads of sweat on the tip of his nose glittered under the dressing room lights. They were right about a few things. I knew I could guess based on the rumors out there. Maybe. God, you're so indecisive. Hyosung clicked his tongue. We can't be wasting time on some phony. Right, until the rescue team arrives, we should... Hey, that's not the answer either. Then what is the answer? I am. I'm why we can easily ignore Sung-yeon. Disregard. Hyosung downplayed Sung-yeon's murder threat. He argued that Sung-yeon had gotten a few things correct purely by luck. Looks slightly annoyed. Better speak more carefully. Why do you want me to speak more carefully? Like, I'm just gonna talk to you about everything, dude. I need 4 more things. Hyosung's arrogant and rackety image created by the show led to his bad reputation. That's fine. We'll just go through this. I'm reckless. I don't even try. That's my character. My current actions perfectly fit the character. You know why your image has suddenly deteriorated? Because people found out I assaulted someone and got expelled from school. Nobody cares about my reason. Hyosung's remarked that no one is interested in his account. It's interesting. Excuse me. Because you didn't tell your side of the story. I apologize. Seriously. Probably this one, actually. Don't you think it's because you didn't give a proper explanation? Hyosung suddenly fell silent. He never explained why the incident happened, and I tried in the beginning, but I gave up because everyone ignored me. Oh, that's shitty. His eyes glared. I had been screaming out for somebody to hear me out, but no one did. Excuse me. Hyosung strained his eyes and panted. Not even your family? What happened? What family? I don't even talk to my mother anymore. Her son got expelled, got a criminal record, and kept getting insulted, but no. Settling the matter would have required a fortune, so they just gave up. Ever since, we've been living separately. They didn't want anything to do with me, because I have no power, money, or voice. No one wanted to hear me out. I was forsaken after being robbed of my dignity. Alienated. Hyosung had no one on his side, not even his family. He only had himself to rely on. Damn. Do-yoon couldn't say anything after hearing the edge of Hyosung's voice. Hyosung turned his head and glanced at Do-yoon. If I get eliminated from the show, I won't have another chance to come back. I have to survive. I'll restore my image somehow. Before I do, I can't be a good person. Comeback chance. Hyosung believes that his image and credibility are not so good that he must restore his past image to succeed. Honestly, I can understand that. Right? I can understand that. Sometimes you feel like you fucked up so much in the past that like it feels like anything you do is not gonna change. Like you have to go to ridiculous lengths to change it. Which, to be honest, I'm currently in that position right now because I feel like I fucked up in the past and all that sort of stuff. But like Hyosung, he just wants to be the good person that he actually is, but no one's giving him a chance because they all think he's immature. And that's really unfair to him, honestly, like super unfair. Hypocrite. Hyosung complained and called the other survivors hypocrites for criticizing him more than Seungyeon, who was making fun of Seungyeon. Look at you, all striving after virtue at a time like this. It's confusing for everyone. You don't have to think ill of. We might have different thoughts, I respect that. But why are you all up in my business? Is it because I'm the easiest to pick on? Hyosung's remark that everyone is blaming him only. I don't think his behavior can jeopardize others. I think it's just literally because he's the youngest. You're the youngest. We reprimanded you for your reckless behavior. That was a bad idea. What am I, a kindergartner? You're not even that old. You have no right to reprimand me. I'm sorry if you didn't like that, the expression. I'm already offended. Everyone's the same. Everyone's criticizing me when Seungyeon is the bad guy. When in fact, you're just busy tending to your image and popularity. Don't forget that everyone's in shock. They're not mad. They're just perplexed. Well, if you get perplexed twice, you'd probably stab me in the back. All the same, Hyosung thinks the other contestants are also trying to maintain their popularity and rankings. Cool! But now Hyosung looks slightly annoyed, better speak more carefully. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be your friend, but you're also hating me for everything that I do. Yeah. Hey, I heard that you're possibly a hypocrite. Maybe your behavior could jeopardize others, right? It's because you surprised everyone. They only reacted to your action. Look at you, sharp as always. I did act recklessly out of anger. Right, we didn't lash out at you because you're Hyosung. Still, you're only criticizing me when Seungyeon's the bad guy. When in fact, you're just busy tending to your image and popularity. People have no right to criticize me. Don't forget that everyone's in shock. They're not mad, they're just perplexed. Well, if you get perplexed twice, they'll probably stab me in the back. True. Hey, all the same. I think everyone's worried because they were told that if you get to last place, you're gonna die. And I'm pretty sure, just a hunch here, people don't really want to die. Hopes of continuing. After reading posts on the official account, Hyosung now thinks that the show will resume. Do you know what the best marketing strategy is? What's with the sudden change of topic? If you don't know, listen up. The best marketing strategy is buzz marketing. Is that what you're doing? Marketing? Of course. If I'm to survive until the show resumes, I should stay at the center of their attention. Hyosung's remark that his unexpected behavior is part of his buzz marketing. Don't you care about the others? What about the others? Everyone's nervous. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Why, are they afraid of falling behind in the ranking? The ranking remains the same, that's not what I'm talking about. Exactly, the ranking still remains the same. There's no such thing as bad publicity, and I'll shake them somehow. Aren't you really going to stop? I'll either go up or take out the others. Until then, I have to stay at the center of attention. Hyosung wiped the sweat off his chin. If you're gonna go crazy, it's better to be the psycho getting all the attention. That's my policy, and this policy will never change. Center of attention, Hyosung believes he must not shy away from the public eye in order to continue on when the show resumes. He tends to stay in the spotlight. Are you still looking annoyed? I'm sorry, friend. Let me reload and choose the other option. Because that's the better idea. Hello! I hear you have hopes of continuing. But I mean, we can't see you. It's too much, buddy. There's too much noise that I can barely see you through it. I was never there in the first place. The noise got me up. The noise tripped me. The only way to go up is through buzz. If you tripped once, you should consider other methods. At least after getting out of this mess. What if we get out? What if the show continues? What if the current votes remain? Let's keep it cool. Let's endure it. Even I can say that. There's no such thing as bad publicity, and I will shake them somehow. Aren't you really going to stop? I'll either go up or take out the others. Until then, I have to stay the center of attention. He wiped the sweat off his chin. If I'm to go crazy, I'd rather go for a psycho that's getting all the attention. That's my policy, and this policy will never change. Fair. My finger fucking hurts. I was opening a thing at work, and the thing slid between my fingernail and my finger, and just sliced it. It just fucking hurts. Disregard. Hyusung downplayed Sung-yeon's murder threat. He argued that Sung-yeon had gotten a few things correct purely by luck. There are levels to the information. What levels? Tell me you're asking because you really don't know. I'm so worried since I have to explain this to you every single time. Look, the tabloid stories gathered by Sung-yeon, it's all low-level info. But what's high-level information? Hyusung took his time. The information that I have. The real secrets. Difference in quality. Hyusung argued that he was fundamentally different from Sung-yeon, who was just repeating old rumors that they had heard somewhere else. Okay. But what do you know? Like, you know, if you know the in-depth stuff. Okay, difference in quality. Hyusung argued that it was fundamentally different from Sung-yeon and just repeating old rumors. Yeah. Your eyes got bigger. What a sight. It's because you're speaking nonsense. I've never seen your eyes grow so big. Who cares what my eyes look like? What did you mean by secret? Secrets are secrets. What explanation do you need? Hyusung stared at Do-yoon's bewildered face for a moment. Premium information that's completely different from Sung-yeon's gossip. Secret only I know. I told you I have aces in the hole. Upon hearing that Hyusung knows other secrets, don't say a thing unless they're completely facts. I think this is not the time to reveal those. Let's try that. Now is not the time. Even if you know something, do it later. Oh, do you want me to pick the right timing? Hyusung smiled wickedly. Sung-yeon is kicking up the dust, and the official count is making all kinds of mistakes. Now is the time to make a bet, not later. What the hell are you up to? Were you even listening when I was going on about my aces? I'll tell them that I will expose them. Sure, there's a way to stop me. To drop out of the audition voluntarily. That's right. Are you going to blackmail us? Now that's some scary word. But I guess you can call it that. I don't know about you, but I have the others by their necks. And some of them are very embarrassing. Aces in the hole. Hyusung said there were secrets about other contestants that only he's aware of. Moreover, he plans to threaten to disclose those secrets. So he's planning to expose all the other contestants. That's very worrisome. That's very, very worrisome. Let's figure it out. Let's move on, since there's not much else to do. So we got 12 keywords and 4 profiles. Our sanity has improved and rapport is unchanged because we are maxed out with Hyusung. And I think we're maxed out with everybody, if I recall correctly. Maybe not Seal. We're trying to be friends with everyone. The talk wasn't going anywhere. There was a long silence between the two. Do you really think B-Stars will continue? With the current episode ranking contestants? They can change, but the show will continue. If they don't, I'll be eliminated right away. And if I get eliminated, my life is over. Hyusung nodded to himself. I know people are talking behind my back. Cocky, pathetic, lazy, big-mouth bully criminal. I've earned all those titles. Man, I really don't like using this voice sometimes. It really hurts. But I'm doing it anyway. I thought things would get better in the end. But Sung-yeon is gone. Tears welled up in his eyes. You've been framed as a betrayer. You know how I feel, right? I can't just sit around when my life gets ruined. Is that what you're going to tell the others? To drop out of the audition for you? I have no choice but to listen to me. I told you I have aces in the hole. Hyusung rubbed his chin with his hand. At least one of them will listen to me. Unyielding, Hyusung is planning to threaten other contestants to give up. He has shut out any dissuasion and made up his mind. Can't imagine what you're going to say. Are you worried about the others? Why? They're different from us. Their reputations are intact. They can succeed without B-Stars. Better to eliminate other contestants. This show is the survival of the fittest. Hyusung moved a step closer to Do-yoon. Our characters are different from what we really are. It's the same for all of them. At the end of the day, we're all phonies. If push comes to shove, he won't hesitate to threaten other contestants to drop out. Even after the talk, he remained adamant. What else could he say? Do-yoon could only stare at Hyusung silently. I'm done talking with you. Wait, not like this. I have nothing more to say to you. Next person, please. You won't get what you want. I have nothing to lose. If I go berserk, someone will get scared of me and give up. No choice. Hyusung made it clear that he had nothing to lose and that he's going all the way by any means necessary. Doyoon felt weak all of a sudden. Doyoon unclenched his fist and took a half step back. Safety comes first, remember that. Be cool and come back right away if it's not working out. I'll go and talk to the others. If they meet Hyusung without knowing his intention, there could be a major clash. Doyoon decided to warn them about what's to come as a way of absorbing the shock. Doyoon! Hyusung stopped Doyoon as he was heading for the door. Doyoon briefly stared at Hyusung. I'm not going to stop. Don't expect me to. Switching channels. We're going to another place. There's our other 4 players. I'm not even surprised. Hyusung looked desperate. Ina scratched her head wildly. That's the best he can come up with? To survive by kicking other contestants out of the audition? I wanted to keep an open mind, but it was closed instantly. Even if someone does drop out, what makes him think he's going to win? Aces? Oh, tell him to stop running his mouth. He's acting irrationally because he's got nothing. Also, there was a threat that the last rank would be killed. A Sungyeon's threat? Just ignore that creep. Ina put her hands together as if embarrassed by her own loud voice. Hyusung's not doing fine right now. Will you come out if we decide to drop out? He says so. Blackmailing is a crime. He's not even making any sense. What do you think he meant by ace in the hole? Well, it's his fault he didn't get enough votes. If it's hopeless, he should have just packed up and gone home. How dare she tries to pull the same stupid crap on us. There's no guarantee the crowd will love him. Why would he take so much blame that he eventually quits his stupid fader business? June, why do you think he's acting so confident? Maybe he got a hold of it. What? Seal lowered his head and adjusted his glasses. Hyusung was always following Sungyeon around. Talking to her for no reason, waiting for her, always trying to stay with her. It's possible that Hyusung discovered something about us. Possibility of leaks. Hyusung was always obedient to Sungyeon. It's possible that the information the contestants collected by B-Stars had leaked. I'm sorry. Us? Seal? You're not part of this. Why do you say us? He said keeping confidentiality was of the utmost importance for the staff. Sounds like it's not. Who knows what's happening up there? I'm sure it's nothing important though. That was leaked that easily. Everyone should know about it by now. I don't believe a word he says. I just speculated since he seems so confident. But you said us, Seal. I don't know if that was a mistranslation or something, but why would he have any secrets on you? You're safe in all of this. Ina surveyed everyone in space. So what's the conclusion? He might not be bluffing? We have to talk to him to find out. Yuhuk stepped forward while stroking his sleeve. I'm next. Wait, who knows what he'll say this time? We should go together. No, if we all go together, he might lock himself in. I think we should follow his rule, talking to him one at a time. Are you sure? He could be ruthless. It's okay, if what Doyoon said about Hyusung's intention is true. I think I can talk to him. Yuhuk, I wish you the best of luck. I'll be back. I like Yuhuk. He's a good guy. I remember liking him. Hyusung's such a drama king. I hope they talk it out. I think it's pointless. He's been keeping himself busy in the dressing room. What the hell? Troll has appeared running wild and another guy is passionately reacting to him. Is it only me reminded of the gangster full of lies? As soon as Hyusung starts to gain popularity, a troll has showed up attacking only Hyusung. That reminds me of a collective criticism against him before. Sungyeon, are you Kunwook Song? What? Who is Kunwook Song? That's from Hyusung. Is he trying to reveal who Sungyeon is? Who's Kunwook? He's the guy who exposed Hyusung's past for the first time. He's Sung's former classmate. Hyusung mistook me for Kunwook, who he assaulted. He guessed wrong. He only has to blame his dull brain. Damn. It's Kunwook? Then stop it. You frame me and pretend to be a victim. Now you impersonate the producer? How longer are you gonna get in the way of my life? Do you want to see it through? I'm not who I'm used to be. I've gone this far on my own with no others help of others, and I won't back off meekly this time. He's pushing it blindly. Sound young. Hyusung seems to be in a hurry, but the survival audition will continue as promised. The contestant rank last will be executed at 2 in the morning. Well, I don't care whether you are Skunwook or not. I'll make a surprising announcement soon. Look forward to it. Announcement? What's he trying to pull here? They waited, but Hyusung didn't post any additional comment. Yuhuk must have arrived. He'll be quiet for a while then. What do you mean by announcement? He probably didn't mean anything. I agree. What secrets can he possibly hold? Bullshit. And his voice quivered a bit. Uh-oh, something's happening. A hug! What just happened? Is everyone okay? Hello? Did things fall? Did we die? The tremor died out quickly. Standing awkwardly, the group looked at one another. Please stop it. And thank God it was brief. And heavy breathing, because you have an anxiety. Ju-young, are you alright? Yes, I'm okay. I have to be okay. You have to tell me if it gets worse, okay? Okay, I'll do that. It was so sudden, scared the hell out of me. People in the dressing room must be fine, right? Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. Uh-oh, are they dead? Ino was silently staring at the door by the central corridor. Hyusung's demand for me to drop out, speculative posts of S. Sung-yeon, and an upcoming announcement. They tried to suppress their anxious emotions. Things weren't looking so great in here either. Jun looked beyond the stage. We ought to do something until Yuhuk comes back. But what can we do? Not a good time to get lost in thought. I should listen to the others and try to calm down everyone. Okay. But it's 1:30. I thought it was like, I thought it was way later. I was like, oh God, this is really bad. Chicken game, interesting. All right, let's, we'll just keep calling Ju-young. Hi, Ju-young, I know you're right in front of me, but let me call you. Looks like we'll have to go one by one. That's not good. I never thought this would happen. Hyusung looked restless for quite some time. He's been running in last all along, but he's been obsessed with Vader, and now he's trying to manipulate us. I'm kind of understand his struggle. He doesn't want to miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime. Whatever it takes. I hope Yuhuk can persuade him to come out. I might have to go see him next if he fails. I just pray that Yuhuk will be able to talk some sense into him. Yeah, I hope nothing happens to either of them. Hey, rapport got slightly better. So you can only talk to one at a time. Interesting. We'll worry about that later. Let's do a quick save. Everyone loves me, right? Yes. Yep, everyone loves me. Hooray! Ranking wise, we're still 5,000 ahead, but we're catching up on Ina. But Ina's kind of staying still. Messenger, fusion, internal conflict. Meet me. I don't know what this says in Korean. Wait, what? Oh, shit. I could have responded to this dude. Sorry, plug hole. Didn't mean to. Let's see what we got going on here. We just kind of look through all this sort of stuff. They talked about making a surprising announcement. Aha! We want to try a look at this. Kunbook. I'm shocked to see you on TV. I really didn't expect this. I said you shouldn't even show up again to me. Seeing how things are going now, I can't help but to write a post. Time flies, right? Screw you. You're now on TV as a musician. I guess you want to use popularity to restart your life. I won't let you do that. Don't you remember the date when you threw a chair during the fight with XXX and OOO? We forgot what happened. Can't remember the meeting held by the school violence committee? Want to get dragged again? Want a real battle between you and me? Just remember the results will always be the same no matter how hard you try. You know that already. That's the image. It's just a string of texts. That's right. I also have to pay attention to see if there's any pictures. I mean, we could always go back just to see, but I think we don't have access to timeline stuff yet. Here we go. Stage photo of Hyusung. Ah, fuck! No! I didn't realize right click does that. I'm wondering how much he'll be ruined. He has good looks, but what he says always disappoints you. Practice dancing more. I guess is the end. I just can't stand the thoughts that all of Yu-Hook's efforts were for nothing. He worked really hard. Nice. That was him at the preliminaries. Let's see. Just focus on security safety for the survivors. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, there's the asshole who was trying to incite me. Rude. Bye, War. Have a good day at work. Take it easy. Hope you have a wonderful day. This thing is still using fader. Anything we can respond to? Ooh, hello. So there's that. Compensation. Many fader users demand B-stars to compensate for any damages dealt to the contestants due to this accident. So we get official response. Okay. He doesn't seem to realize what you have done to our band. If he knows that you incited a fight between people, he will expose it first, or may inform those facts. We'll worry about that in a bit. I don't care whether you make a surprising announcement soon. Announcement. Houston posted a comment that he would make a surprising announcement on Fader without mentioning details. Was that already? You couldn't. Song. Identity conclusion. Hyusung jumped to the conclusion that his former classmate who had first disclosed Hyusung's violent past must be Sung Yeon, who is probably not who that is. Okay, so there's one response. Let me quick save real quick. Alright, where is that again? Let's try this. Still. Decide to respond calmly. I'm still angry that you couldn't make your debut because of me. Am I wrong? If you hadn't incited the other members, we could have made our debut. And I wouldn't have been humiliated by participating in B-Stars. I guess it won't be easy to talk about it properly considering the past incident. It was immediate response. Are you inciting a fight between them like you did before? Inciting a fight was your specialty. I was trying to improve our band to get out of the indie music like you did. I tried to patch things up. Patch up, so you sat back and did nothing when other members criticized me? You were the core member of the band and had the largest influence, and I was a newcomer. Can you call it a patch up if a strong leader like you criticizing a powerless newcomer? That was like a death sentence to me. What was I supposed to do back then? Cancellation of the record deal caused a huge conflict among the band members. Members who were asked to leave the band by the agency fell out with the rest of the members. You inside with the members who would have been kicked out. Woosuk, the vocalist who had tried to facilitate the band's deal with the agency, still resented Dooyun for spoiling their chance. He thought the conversation was over, but it didn't seem like there was anything mentioned to. Yeah. But my sanity went down. We can't be having that. We can't be having my sanity go down. Where is it? Hello. Let's do this one and then do the other option, which is... Hi, Blasi, how are you? It was you who tried to break the band. If you agreed, it could have gone well with no trouble. Other members would have also agreed. The band was formed around you. You knew that we had to do something. Nothing's changed, really. The cancellation of the record deal led to a conflict among the band members. Members who were asked to leave the band by the agency fell out with the rest of the members. But we raised our... Oh, hello. You can't admit that you broke up the band. And you decided to remain at B-Stars for your own success. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's been interesting. Hold on, we raised our idea. So let me go to save number 4. Real quick, actually, before we go back to 3, or before we go back to 4, let me do this one. I just want to see what happens if I select the other option. Just because I'm curious. Blasi, were you here when we played this game first? So we do this one. Why are you doing this at this time? You decided to restore it firmly. It was you who caused trouble by insisting we change members. Shit, did you forget that I begged one of my acquaintances to allow us to do a rehearsal for the agency? How could you say that? Other agencies didn't even hear our demo tape. It was their offer after hearing our demo tape and allowing us to do the rehearsal. Otherwise, we couldn't have gotten any opportunities. You're saying you had no other choice than to kick out the members? There's an immediate response. Are you inside the fight between them before? Gotcha. Okay, so I chose right the first time. Let's go. Oh, wrong button. It's been 5 months, Blossy, since we played this. It's been 5 months. Insane, right? Let's see what's going on here. It was you who insisted that we should make our debut without certain members. Picking the band wasn't my fault. Ooh, let's be strong. It was you who insisted that we should make our debut without certain members. You knew that we had to kick out unqualified members. But you didn't want to play the bad guy, so you objected to my idea and insisted we should go together. Now, what does it feel like to wait to be eliminated because of them, huh? Juyun thought about it again, but he still couldn't think otherwise. Juyun strongly objected to the deal because he couldn't leave anyone behind. Juyun sided with the members who would have been kicked out. The record deal got canceled because Juyun opposed it, even though he wasn't among the members that would have been kicked out. It led to a deep divide between the members that would have been abandoned by the agency and those that would have stayed. Woosuk, the vocalist who had tried to facilitate the band's deal with the agency, still resented Juyun for spoiling their chance. Cracks. The collapse of the record deal created fissures within the band. Juyun sided with the members who would have been forced out, and their new vocalist heaped the blame on Juyun. It's time to wrap up their conversation. Cool. Bye, Ketsy. You overslept? It's all good. Didn't miss much. I can't remember anything other than trying to escape a collapsed building and someone died. Yep, that's pretty much it. Anyway, we're gonna talk to Seal first, our programming buddy. Unyielding. Hyosung is planning to threaten other contestants to give up. He has shut out any dissuasion and made up his mind. I knew he didn't have a brain. But I didn't think he'd seriously ask other contestants to drop out. I guess he kind of figured he couldn't change the ranking. Of course not. There's a thing called momentum. And once you lose it, it's hard to regain it. Some did during the preliminaries. The finals are different. It's all about the spirit. Once you gain the momentum, you rarely lose it. But if you do lose it, you won't get back so easily. So how does it look for me? Seal paused at Duyun's question. Seal spoke slowly after examining Duyun for a moment. Average, but I think there's a small upward shift in momentum. Pretty stable compared to Hyosung. So you're saying there's no way Hyosung would get his momentum back? Look what he's doing. His choices will lead him to self-destruction. He's practically asking the viewers to send him home. Damn! That's true. He's being such a big asshole that no one likes him, so. No choice. Hyosung made it clear that he had nothing to lose and that he was going all the way by any means necessary. He won't get anything out of this audition if that continues. He said he had nothing to lose. I think he still does, although it would be over for him soon. What do you mean by he still does? I think he still has a slight possibility. Still shook his head. What do you think would happen if people found out about what he did? An ex-bully threatening other contestants to drop out. And things would get out of control for him. He should have just stayed quiet and waited for his chance. If I try to persuade him again by telling this, do you think he'll listen to you? He's not listening to anyone right now. He's obsessed with his own tactics. That's true, but you made me depressed, sir, so now I have to rewind time. Who's everyone's favorite character? I mean, I like Duyun, honestly. Juyung is cute, though. Just saying. Anyway, possibility of leaks. Hyosung was always obedient to Sungyeon, and it's possible that the information the contestants collected by Beastars has been leaked. To be honest, Hyosung is the real beneficiary of Beastars. Was he like a crew member? Yeah, Seal's a crew member. So his life not in danger at all. The other 5, all potentially going to get murdered. So, but he's been through many difficult times. Not because of the show. The show tried to back him up, but he brought them upon himself. Think about how things were before school violence was revealed. His rudeness had been glorified as charm. His crudeness was edited out. Duyun couldn't help himself but to nod his head. Hey, friendship. Right? Only positive images of him were aired. Even how the show dealt with his past. They didn't know he had a criminal record back then. When it comes to the past, the show was favorable towards Ina too. Ina? They didn't even talk about her past. You might think they are similar, but not talk about it is different from making it look positive. What's another name for ill-intentioned editing? Devilish editing, right? It was the other way around for Hyosung. So I guess you can call that angelic editing. Angel's editing. During the episodes about the contestants' past, Hyosung's past was depicted almost positively. One could say it was embellished. Damn. Yeah, so long story short, for those who are joining the stream who have no idea what's going on, this is Buried Stars. It is, we have essentially 5 idols and a production member trapped underground in a set of a reality show called Buried Stars, and they're told by the ghost of a producer, because the producer is dead, that they need to move up in their rankings, dictated right here, and whoever is in last place every, I believe, 2 hours, an hour or 2 hours, one of the two, will be murdered. Hyosung is in last place, who he's trying to get people to leave so he can live. Do-yoon is who we're playing as. Right now, Gyuhuk is talking to Hyosung to try to get him to calm down. Anyway, let me save again because I have the memory of a goldfish and I forget things fast. Compensation. Many Fader users demanded B-Stars to compensate for any damage dealt to contestants due to the accident. The executives must be busy figuring out the amount of damages they will be held liable. They're certainly responsible for this accident. They'll try their best to come up with the solution, but that won't be easy. I don't think they were able to agree on a single opinion or policy. I told you they were caught off guard. They're just busy trying to dodge bullets. Even the official accounts got mixed up. Even the official account used to be run under Sung Yeon's instruction. The command center is gone, and everyone is lashing out at them right now. If they even have one slip of the tongue, it will only aggravate the situation. Do you think the staff member managing their account will be okay? Wow, you are worried about a lot of people. Still put his hand under his chin and paused for a moment. I think he's okay for now because everyone's so busy. Are you saying he'll be in trouble later? Yes, certainly. The person with the least power would have to take the most responsibility. True. Also, we became more friendly towards you. Safe. For the murdering part, hopefully I won't get attached to the characters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna die at some point. The announcement. Hyosung posted a comment that he would make a surprising announcement on Fader without mentioning details. He's trying to run the show now. What's he going to talk about? You're the one who just finished talking to him. What would I know? Good point. Dean scratched his head and Seal sighed. Wouldn't he talk about you? Me? The thing you mentioned earlier about dropping out of the show, you refused it, right? And now he wants to reveal what he knows as a way of taking revenge. No, I don't think so. You shouldn't ask a question with a certain answer in your mind. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. Anyways, we can only guess as to what he's thinking. How would a normal person like us know what's in his clever brain? I just hope he doesn't cause some big trouble that we can't control. I'm sorry, sir. You hate me, so now I have to go back into space-time. Man, the things you have to do to please people. You have to go back in time. Also, what time is it right now, speaking of which? It is 1:30 in the morning. Hey. Identity conclusion. Hyosung jumped to the conclusion that his former classmate who had first disclosed Hyosung's violent past must be Sung Yeon. That's some pathetic logic. You don't agree with him? Why would the person who exposes past attack others as well? As Sung Yeon said they do something to the person in last place. That's as good as sniping at Hyosung, no? Hyosung's just bait. There are too many details of others too, just to consider them as the byproduct of attacking Hyosung. Seo continued while tilting his head. Killing the person in last place? That's vague. But the descriptions of the panic attacks and scholarship issue were quite detailed. Do you think those rumors are true? Well, how would I know? Seo suddenly fell silent. What I'm sure of is that it's not just for attacking Hyosung. God, sir, it's so easy to depress you. Can you please be happy for like 2 seconds? From what I remember from the 2 streams we did of this before, like 5 months ago, I remember that Seal gets to like angry at every little thing. Angel's editing. During the episodes about the contestants' past, Hyosung's past was depicted almost positively. One can say it was embellished. Yeah, oh no, bro is upset. Time to rewind time. It's so difficult to portray him in a positive way. It's true, Hyosung is kind of annoying. He's not that bad, you'll see once you get to talk to him. I don't think I will. Yeah, your production, he doesn't care about you. Seal seemed adamant. This is why he's being rude to you. The edits were so against you. You knew it, right? You were portrayed as a hungry hyena waiting for any chance. I saw the captured images of the show and people's response. If they had put in half the effort they made for him, no one would have made a fuss about it. You don't know that. I told him countless times that all contestants must be treated equally. I heard. Hey, now we're friendly. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if I was lying. seal filled with the tip of his messenger bag. Hyosung's playing the victim right now, but he's only a beneficiary after all. All he does is whine, but in fact he's been enjoying all the privileges. Alright, thank you. Yeah, this game also has some like weird things. I've talked about this before, but there is a point in the game, I think it's about halfway to 3/4 through this game, there's a pop-up that will happen that will say, hey, please do not like stream this or continue like showing this off so that way other people can experience it. But there are kind of ways around it. Like you can still stream it, but I would have to only stream that part and then just keep it as unlisted. So we'll see how it goes as time goes on. Anyway, let's talk to Ju-young. Unyielding. You're the second place person. Drop out of nowhere? I think he's doing that because his ranking won't go up as he has expected. He just didn't know how much headwind he'd have to endure. Ju-young shook her head with a grim expression on her face. I guess he has his own plans. Some people have turned hostile towards him even on Fader. But he shouldn't force other people to drop out. The votes are made by viewers. Asking us to drop out could be seen as ignoring the viewers too. Ju-young frowned as if she was having a headache. Well, who am I kidding? You had your reasons. That's what you think. The agency announced the reason why I left the group on my behalf. They said I got tired of working in this business. How does that sound? That can't be the only reason. Hey, friendship. You seem pretty certain. Nothing simple. At the end of the day, that's the only reason. I barely got away by agreeing to keep my mouth shut. Silence. After Ju-young left, her agency made an announcement on behalf of her that she had lately felt strongly pessimistic. She released no comment herself. All of us endured many hardships since joining Beastars. It's selfish of him, if he's blindly trying to get rid of us. He's probably doing that because he's agitated right now. If he sees us individually as he did with me earlier, he'll come back to his senses. I believe he will. I know how people act under stress and pressure. I just hope he comes back before things get more dangerous. Unfair demand. Ju-young's thought. Dropping out is betrayal to everyone that has supported them. It's difficult to understand how he can threaten those he's gone through tough times with. Fair. Rapport event! Friendship time. Family business. You think my panic attacks are fake, made up for the show? No, not at all. As somebody who has anxiety attacks and panic attacks literally every other day, well, at least that's what it feels like. I'm pretty sure it is panic attacks because of stuff. But anyway, you're still bothered by what Sung-yeon said? They say coffee and panic attacks don't go together, but I don't know. Ju-young dropped her eyes for a moment. That's right, they can't go together. Even my doctors advised me to stop drinking coffee. What do you think of me now? She's cute. Well, if that's the case, why do you keep drinking it even when your doctors advised you against it? Because I got much better. I was almost recovered by the time Beastars was about to begin. Ju-young looked Do-yoon straight in the eyes. But you worked as a barista. It was my mom's coffee shop. Oh, it was a family business. Yes, it was a small coffee shop. She couldn't afford to hire anyone to help her. You have no idea how happy she was when I offered to help. Because when my symptoms were bad, I couldn't do anything but stay home all day long. My mom must have been very happy. Being able to work is a sign of recovery. I owe that to my family who helped me to overcome it. When everyone pushed me into a corner, my family stood by my side. They just waited for me without any questions. After some time, I got better to the point that I could enjoy coffee little by little. And I came to realize that I really got better. And that's how I regained my strength to compete in Beastars. Ju-young braced herself with one arm as if leaning against it. Panic attacks don't push you into the abyss forever. They come and go. You kinda have to live with it. But I failed to control it during Beastars. I never thought they would push me to having another panic attack. They definitely crossed the limit. That was so inhumane. It's true. Forcing somebody to have panic attacks. Fuck, dude. A faint smile was seen on her pale face. The funny thing is, my rank started going up since then. Weird world, huh? People love success stories, but when someone is about to finally overcome a challenge, they get jealous. I guess a heroine is only accepted in fiction. I barely recovered while helping out my family business. It's nothing to be jealous of. Ju-young. She is faking it. That's the summary people made. Family care. Ju-young worked as a barista at her mom's cafe. With her family's sincere care and appropriate medical treatment, she could regain her strength. Junyoung, family business. Junyoung worked as a barista in her mother's cafe. She got treatment while staying with her family, and her symptoms got better enough to enjoy some coffee. God. I understand that, like, this is something like with my family. Whenever I have like panic attacks or anxiety attacks, they always think I'm like faking it, like heavily faking it, which isn't the case, right? Because it just happens. It sucks, especially unmedicated. And it just sucks when people think that it's faking it, because it literally can fuck you up. Take it from me recently. You must be thinking this is the end. He certainly seems desperate. It's a serious situation for everyone. Hyusung's feeble-minded. Junyoung stared at Doyoon for a second. You know a lot about Hyusung. Not really, it's just that he tends to talk to me more often. Friendship! Weird, huh? You look like a good listener. I think I do. I don't think so. Not at all. That was fast. I'm just jealous. He was desperate, but you've embraced him as what he was. Yeah. I'd do the same with you. I wasn't saying I needed your attention. Still, you shouldn't feel discouraged. No, I barely held it. Young smiled weakly. I hope he comes back to his senses for your sake. Aww, Ju-young's such a good person. I like her. He's also cute. Possibility of leaks. Do you think Sung-yeon was capable of doing that? In my opinion, no. Same here. The two put their heads together and nodded. She might have given away something if Hyusung insisted on getting some info, but I don't think it was anything significant. Considering their characters, that sounds about right. And he must be protesting with that information on his hand. He should realize it's a waste of time. He'll eventually come to a realization. I'm just hoping it won't be too late for him. Yeah, it's too dangerous in there. Ji-young stared at the other side of the door. A long sigh came out of her mouth. He's so reckless, I wonder what he's up to. Whether he made a mistake or not, we shouldn't argue in here. Yeah, it's dangerous. Right, we'll talk about it after we get out of here first. We're not to judge anyone now. That's true. She's right, and it's also really worrisome because right now, thanks Katsy, I appreciate it. Hyusung locked himself in a dressing room, and the dressing room has one exit and is close to collapsing. Like the ceiling was bulging in, so like it's not looking good. Also, unfair demand. We could follow up a seal. Ji-young's thought: dropping out is a betrayal to everyone that has supported them. It's difficult to understand how he can threaten those he's gone through tough times with. Hyusung nipped at all kinds of trivial things. He raved on about Ju-young making a debut in the past, calling it unfair. The same thing happened when Yu-huk's family history was exposed. Unfair? He insisted that he should be disqualified for having strings to pull. Was already in a band, so does that make me? He didn't care about you since your band wasn't that popular. Can't deny that. It's funny he would do that. He's the one who should be disqualified for his criminal record. Everyone who made it out of preliminaries had their own stories. If they had nothing to hide, there's nothing wrong with revealing their past, but I'm sure Hyusung wanted to hide his. Everyone's too sensitive about privacy. Would I be harsh for saying they have too many demands? Oh shit, choice time! Is the demand for privacy protection unreasonable? One's conscious and attitude about the matter is an irrelevant thing. That's what everyone wants. Yeah, I think that's what everyone wants, by the way. Everyone wants their privacy to be respected. Whether he's confident about it or not depends on his standard. Now that you mention it, everyone, huh? The contestants who made it to the finals, B-stars, can you consider them everyone? Everyone should include an ordinary person like me, right? Seal clenched his messenger bag. There's something you should know. A person with talent shines. When someone shines, it casts a shadow. What shadow is? It's the attention from the outside, regardless of its effect on the contestants. Sometimes it could be jealousy. A quiet and peaceful life, you need to give that up. You cannot avoid unwanted attention. If you really don't want it, all you have to do is just do nothing. If not, you'll just have to keep on selling your stories. No matter how others receive it, you'll just have to live with it. Do you want to protect your true self? That's talking high and mighty. There's so many people that are willing to give up everything to get popular. There are desperate people everywhere. Desperate people. Unfair, excessive, hurtful? They've been given a chance at least. On the flip side, Sil believes that people with extraordinary talent cannot live peaceful lives, and that's the dark side of talent. He could be doing that out of desperation, though. Thing is, he has no musical talent. That's why he's ignoring the sufferings of others and complaining. malcontent. Seal criticized Hyosung for complaining too much whenever another contestant gained even a bit of advantage without fully considering their circumstances. That's great. However, you made me sad and you got upset. So you know what that means? Rewinding time. Because once again, I want to try to do the best possible choices. Something might have to be sacrificed. Maybe we had to make a compromise. We had to become the talk of the town in order to come up in the game. Yay, happiness! Right, we need to be clear on something. A person with talent shines. When someone shines, it casts a shadow. It's true. That shadow is the attention from the outside, regardless of its effect. Yeah. True. Yep, you already said that. You've already said all this. Let me skip through it. On the flip side, he has no musical talent. And he's complaining. Hashtag current truth, what's that? Excuse me. Hooray! You made it. You made happy man. I don't know why I'm doing every single save, but that's fine. Compensation! That's like the only good news if you've gotten so far. After all, WBS had to take the responsibility regardless of what Fader users were saying. Well, WBS has to be conscious of its viewers. Do you think we'll receive an insurance settlement? Jiyoung covered her mouth with her long hair. Her eyes were on her feet as if she was lost in others' thoughts. If we'll be compensated. Honestly, I want to stay in the finals. We came this far while sacrificing so many things. Won't be able to have some of those ever again. You get one, you lose one. I just want this to continue somehow, though it can never be the same like before. Jiyoung stared into space as if she was looking at something precious. Do you mean the beginning of Beastars, or even before Beastars? I don't know why though. I'm talking about the time when me and my team members were enduring hardships to gain more popularity and achieve our dream. We were achieving our goals one at a time. I want to become a trainee at least. I want to receive a song from a composer. I want to write lyrics. I want to have a proper practice room, and I want to grow up on stage. Aw, you achieved all of those goals then. That's what's happening current age? True. Very true, yeah. It was a dream come true and I couldn't believe it. We never made it to the top, but we thought we would make it one day. With all of your members, we went through all those times together from the beginning. Jiyoung became a trainee to make her dream come true. She wanted to enjoy popularity together with her team members who had stuck with her through difficult times. I guess you've been through those times too. Jiyoung quietly nodded. I came too far to turn back now. Right, there's no going back. But if I could at least continue from this point on. Wishful thoughts. If the rumors about compensations from Fader becomes a reality, Jiyoung hopes for another opportunity to perform on stage rather than receiving money. True. Also, I'm just gonna keep doing the first and keep refreshing the first. Wishful thoughts. I'm not in the position to talk about that. Hyosung isn't the only one who's hoping for something to happen. The show has been making mistakes. I'm sure all of you have different thoughts in mind. I hope they make confirmation. It's already a mess. It's difficult for them to promise anything. Seal hesitated while checking Doyoon's facial expression. Seal's shoulders slouched when their eyes met. You must be confused too. You were in a difficult situation when you joined Beastars. What's your personal take? Do you think the show will continue? Are you hoping for it to continue? Doyoon's opinion about the continuation of Beastars. I don't want to continue. I don't think it's possible. Not at a time like this. Of course, I'm a bit surprised though. Did you test me? No way. But if it had been a test, you picked the right answer. I wonder what you're thinking sometimes. Doyoon looked confused and Seal carefully chose his words. I heard you didn't know about Masquerade applying for the show. Oh, that. You're right. Woosuk filled out the application. Woosuk, the new vocalist? Did he apply for the show without telling other members? Ooh, hello. Look at long-haired Doyoon! Let's go! Informed us after the beginning date of the preliminaries was fixed. Half of the team wanted to go for it while the other half didn't. What about you? I didn't want to do it at first. Doyoon unknowingly bit his lip. The members who were on the verge of getting kicked out of the band were on my side. The members who wanted to must have sided with the vocalist then. It was that bad, huh? The whole team had been discouraged when our record deal went astray. Woosuk thought my objection was the biggest reason for ruining the deal. He must have felt offended since he was the only one who put all the effort into making the deal. It taught me a different way of seeing things. I thought maybe participating in the show could put us back together. We all came to Beastars together after persuading other members. Opportunity. The members of the vocalist side notified the other members about joining an audition. Doyoon thought of it as an opportunity to reunite the band, which is why he persuaded the others to prepare for the preliminaries. Persuasion. Doyoon had persuaded other members to join Beastars, or Buried Stars. But in the end, the band failed to make it to the finals. Seal took a deep breath. Seal spoke after a brief pause. Beastars got high ratings. They made an issue out of the incident. As long as you can keep the fire going, you can't blame other people for being hopeful about it. Are you saying it's possible for the show to continue? I can't guarantee it. I'm just saying there's a possibility based on my experience. Seal's gaze turned to the judges section where Sungyeon was located. Although we have the serious incident at hand. Public opinion. Beastars Season 4 recorded the highest ratings ever with more people interested in the show after this incident. The broadcaster will somehow resume Beastars if this popularity remains. Sounds about right. Doesn't matter if it's a freaking travesty going on right now. People will find a way to continue things. Anyway, announcement. What do you think he's going to talk about? Well, I'm more worried about him being agitated. Do you think it's because of Fader? If he only looks at his own timeline, he might think more people are supporting him. Really? Nobody supports me on my timeline. Jiyoung covered her mouth as if she had made a mistake. Still, more people were cheering me on until the finals began. I wasn't thinking. There were times where I felt like I was talking about anything. I wanted to tell my story regardless of how people might respond. I can understand that. Hyosung sometimes overdid himself, hoping to garner a positive response. What he's doing right now is similar, although it's more serious this time. I don't think Hyosung has much to say. He might ask us to drop out openly or reveal the info he claims to have. I hope not. Me too. If he gets obsessed with how people are responding, he'll just be digging himself a deeper hole. Speculation. Jiyoung guessed what Hyosung would announce. He could openly demand that other contestants give up, or he might disclose some secrets to apply pressure. There's so much reading in this game. I forgot how much reading there is. But that's a visual novel for you. Hi, Seal. Do you want to talk about speculation? Are you excited or worried? I'm worried, of course. I wonder what he's up to. Oh yeah? I'm rather excited. What? Excited about what? The level of expectation and excitement is the highest up until something is revealed. Once it's announced, the disappointment begins. That's true. Very, very true. Seal pulled on his bag strap. He was smiling, but his eyes were glaring. I'm really excited about his unstoppable downfall. You hate him so much. We need to stop him before that happens. Why? He's digging his own grave. We might as well take this opportunity to get rid of him and start all over. Unless he comes back to his senses before it happens, which is very unlikely. Man, dude, you get sad whenever you hear that something good's happening to that dude. Hey, we need to protect Hyosung. Ah, motherfucker, you can't do that. Identity conclusion. The person Hyosung mentioned. In your opinion, what are the odds of them being a Sungyeon? 0. You must have thought the odds are high, but I'm not so sure. Jiyoung nodded while meeting Doyoon's eyes. Jiyoung raised her pale hand and gently stroked her chin. He thought he was being targeted because they said something about the person in last place, but all the contestants were attacked. People tend to become short-sighted under severe stress. That's true, although his thoughts revolve around himself even when he's not confused. That's pretty cold. I mean, it's true. Well, we talk a lot. It's weird seeing how he's never mean to you like he is to everyone else. That's not really true. Jiyoung tilted her head while tossing her hair back. Well, you did fail when you went to talk to him. I'm just worried he might take himself deeper into the mud if this continues. He's knee-deep in the mud already. We shouldn't give Sungyeon any further chances to act up. But why did you get upset by that? Miss! I was just trying to have a good conversation and you depressed me. Now I have to go back in time again. Stop letting me go back in time. Angel's editing. It bothered me, but it was clearly not the case once we made it to the finals. All the favoritism towards him had disappeared. I thought Hyosung would be infuriated, but he remained quiet. Is it because he had a criminal record? The reason why Hyosung remained quiet, even though he was no longer favored by the show. He was probably obeying Sungyeon, honestly, the producer, who's dead. He was fond of Sungyeon. He probably remained quiet because she could have made that decision. I guess you can see it that way. He really was fond of Sung Yeon. Ju-young frowned and rolled her eyes. There was a short silence between the two. Even earlier, he stopped using Fader for some time, but started to go at it again. He had been quiet ever since, until as Sung Yeon began to impersonate Sung Yeon. Now he's exploded with anger. That's what infuriates him the most, as Sung Yeon insulting Sung Yeon. Ju-young nodded at her own remark. She paused for some time, but shook her head. Maybe I went too far with that thought. I feel like throwing up. Ju-young, don't overindulge yourself. It was momentarily. I'm fine. At this point, Hyosung's getting worse. Insanity. Refraining from using Fader after posting a comment about his survival, Hyosung has nearly gone crazy after S. Sung Yeon appeared pretending to be the producer. Yeah, dude's literally insane. He wants to get everyone killed. Like, that's his gist. Dude is going insane. Unfair demand. I hope he'll change his mind. When I saw him earlier, it seemed as if he might have given up all. Does he know that his actions are pointless? It was like he was feeling the compulsive need to gain attention. Jin bit on her thumbnail. Her parched lips moved at the tip of her fingernail. Maybe he's having a panic attack. There are various types of attention. I'm sure he'll come back to his senses if we persuade him by taking turns. Of course, it's dangerous for him to be staying there alone. I hope he doesn't talk about things like aces or secrets. I'm not sure if he knows anything, though. That's not important right now. Ji-young looked towards Do-yoon. Her eyes looked hollow. The problem is that how insulting they are. We've been enduring insults between what's real or fake. If somebody stabs us in the middle of that wound, somebody else might have to shed blood. True. While real or fake, if you're dealing with insults, things could get bad. Wishful thinking. Thoughts. It's a situation that we're in. That makes me want to believe what I want to believe. Like how there might be some compensation or how the show might continue. It's not your fault. We all need something to rely on. Ji-young smiled weakly. Ji-young tried to smile back, but didn't know what to make of his face. It feels like I'm relying on luck. It's already a miracle that we're standing alive at the collapse site. We might as well pray for another miracle. Yeah, praying. That was a good one. I'm flattered. Ji-young answered a bit too politely, perplexed by his compliment. By her compliment, rather. Ji-young smirked and squinted. I just wish that it would side with me like you're doing. Who are you talking about? No one in particular. I was just thinking about a certain point in my life. A certain point in your life? That's interesting. That command will be updated tomorrow, Katsy. Speculation. I don't think he'll expose anything significant. He didn't tell me anything when I asked him earlier. He was either trying to hold on to it or he knew it wasn't anything significant. I think it's the latter, right? Is ladder L-A-D-D-E-R? I thought it was L-A-T-T-E-R. Did they misspell that horribly? The feeling they misspelled that horribly. He's actually not the type to take what really matters. That makes sense now that I think about it. I wonder why he's acting all mean when he doesn't have to. Jung stared at the other side of the door with a worried look on her face. June couldn't tell if she was worried about the announcement or Hyosung. At this point, the response won't be positive. I hope he will reconsider his plan before carrying it out. To be honest, I'm not sure if I could suppress it while talking to him. We would need to persuade him before you go there. Yu-huk went to see him, so let's not think too deeply about it for now. After pondering for a moment, Ju-young raised her head. Yay, friendship! Okay. I'm hoping Yu-huk will talk him out of it. That's the goal, because if Yu-huk can do it, then we are safe. Alright, Ina, let's talk to you about everything. I'm astounded at Hyosung's imagination. He's going too far with this. Way too far. What the hell is he up to? Ina licked her parched lips and raised her eyebrows above her blue eyes. So if he exposes our secrets, do we have to fall on our knees and be at his mercy? We should have just pretended to give in and come out with you guys. He didn't seem all that confident. He might give up if we keep talking to him. I'm just not sure if we're mentally and physically fit for that. It's not like we have all the time in the world, you know. We should just break into the dressing room and drag him out of there. We could aggravate him if we did that. Yu-huk went to see him, so let's wait and see. I guess Yu-huk is the only one we can count on right now. Not really, he's also as soft as butter. Miss, you got depressed when I talked to you? That's not allowed. That's not allowed at all. Miss, you can't be doing that. No choice. Well, it's nothing new, right? That's true, generally speaking. I'm used to it. You know, you've experienced it before, right? Ina frowned and closed her eyes. After frantically scratching her short hair, Ina opened her eyes and began to let it all out. He backstabbed me during the team mission. How was I supposed to keep my cool when I got personally insulted by someone on the same team? Even looking back now, it was all his fault. Of course it was. Do you know how cheap he is? He didn't care how he treated me, because he thought it would work because of my character. He knew that the editing team was on his side. What a genius, huh? And that's what really happened. That was the decisive blow. I was so pissed off. Thanks to the editing team, I became the bully. Was he born as the biggest snob in the world? Am I that bad? No. I know I make you sound like a valley girl, but honestly, no. You just really are scared. No, your character's been exaggerated. I don't have the quality to fit the character. I even agreed to play the character, but making me the bully, that was plain wrong. Editing. The show tends to embellish contestant. She was actually confident, but far from arrogant. I wonder what he's up to. I have no clue. I'm sick of hearing him go on about how he's going all the way. Excessive control. Hyosung often said that he would stop at nothing. He always tried to check and exclude his teammates. Listen, I have to select every single answer, or every single option. We are listening to everything, and then we'll go back. So. He was such a troll back then. He probably didn't know that he was on a team mission. The controversy died out quickly, though. The seriousness of the incident tends to change depending on how you look at it. Did you know? Even back then, he was going for broke. I remember. Hey, happiness. That's Hyosung. He fans the flames and says he did it out of desperation. So if you respond to him in a commonsensical way, you become a villain who ignores a desperate person. It's like you're explaining a certain trick. Seal put on a smirky smile. You're right, that's Hyosung's trick. He's a troll who doesn't care whether you're on the same team or not. Even now, he couldn't care less for the collapsed stage. True, he is a dick. He is a dick. Excessive control. It wasn't easy to hold Ina back. It was ridiculous seeing how he was attacking the same team. Did he see her as an obstacle? Strangely, it didn't become a major issue, though. He was on a roll. Everything worked out for him, including the editing. Ina shrugged her shoulders when she caught Ji-young's eyes from the other side. She was sticking out her chin as if she was saying, "What's wrong with him?" Or what's wrong with him? He said the same thing back then, that he'd go all the way. I thought he was being figurative, when in fact he was being as literal as he could be. Friendship! Ina felt really hurt. I'm sure she was caught off guard since they were on their team mission. Considering the context at the time, just appealing to his strengths would have been enough. It's just that there were invisible issues before that time. Yeah, dude's got some problems. He's really just an asshole, honestly. Anyway, possibility of leaks. It's like an option that follows him around. Well, I guess it could be a strategy for making himself look good, but that's not the issue here. It won't make him an assistant producer, you know. I hate it when he puts us into his categories and lashes out at us. It was worse towards contestants with lower ranking. I thought his dad was the CEO of WSBS or something. I wonder why he's been doing that when he has nothing to show for himself. Ina crossed her arms and shook her head. Her short hair looked more disheveled than usual. He always acted cute in front of the judges, although I don't think they bought it. He was lazy about practice. Exactly, instead of acting cute in front of the judges, he should have practiced more. It's not like we get points for flattery. He's a KUKD style? It's a KUKD. Ina snorted as Dude looked at her questioningly. He's a kiss up, kick down guy, you know. That's the way of his life. That's why nobody likes him in the show. Kiss up, kick down. Hyosung flattered Sungyeon and the judges, but he looked down on the other staff members and other contestants who were ranked below him. Yeah, dude's an asshole. We already know this. He's an absolute asshole. Let's talk to you about kiss up, kick down. Excuse me. Another specialty of Hyosung's. He always suck it up to the judges. He looks down on other contestants who are weaker than he is. And if we're talking about his tone of voice or difficult personality, come on, you know what I'm talking about. There's a thin line between being difficult or rude. He's just plain rude. Seal turned his mouth up slightly. He's respectful towards the producer and judges only. He doesn't care about the rest, including other contestants and staff members. Once you experience it, you can never forget it. Seal, you're okay. I think so. Hyosung has been digging his own grave. Opportunists cannot succeed forever. At least you're getting happier, Seal. I mean, I already know I'm maxed out with you right now, but like, even still. It's true you discriminated people by putting them into categories. Yeah, anyone can tell. It was in the order of the production executives, producer, judges. I told him to go easy, but he wouldn't listen to me. I also had to talk with him about that. Jooyoung tilted her head as if she was trying to recall the talk she had with Hyosung. Jooyoung waited until Jooyoung spoke again. He told me I shouldn't meddle with his business because he had his sources. That sounds typical of him. Now that I'm talking about it, it's all coming back to me. His own resources? What do you think he meant by that? Hyosung was counting on probably Sung-yeon. Would it be Sung-yeon? She was the highest ranking staff. Sung-yeon, that's a possibility. Everyone had to work with her throughout the entire show, and she had full authority. Jooyoung slowly shook her head. Her long hair brushed against her clothes to make a soft sound. Someone who would give him the power to be rude to anyone in the show. He can't be the WS executive since he didn't get to see them often. Other staff members all followed Sung-yeon's instructions. The more I think about it, the more conviction I get. Hyosung's resource must be Sung-yeon. Unknown support. Hyosung acted like someone was backing him up whenever he caused trouble. Could it be Sung-yeon? Probably because he was following her around like a puppy dog all the fucking time. Like, he probably got information from her just for being a kiss ass. Compensation. Compensation, huh? I like the sound of it. Right? Compensation. Ina emphasized the compensation parts. She stared at Jooyoung after repeating the word a few more times. The official account is making mistakes. WS is up to God knows what, and Sung-yeon is... Can we just get a little hope? I didn't say anything. Your eyes told me that I was pathetic. Were you able to read them? Did I get it right? Of course not. Hey, maybe I got it wrong. Ina twisted her short hair with one of her fingers. They appeared to be exchanging jokes, but nobody laughed. I guess people who saw the mention about the compensation must have different expectations, although it's not even official. Like you said, even a little hope would be nice. I changed my mind. As the saying goes, with high expectation comes great disappointment. Make up your mind. Well, considering the current situation, that should be understandable. Rapport events, let's go! Friendship! Expression of feelings. We can't choose what we get. I heard that before. But I'll never get used to having too much attention. Bothered by what Sung-yeon said? Yeah, why are they all curious about my past all of a sudden? No one knows your past, Ina. That's why everyone's curious, because they know everyone else's past except for yours. Ina waved her hand in the air. I kind of imagined it when I applied for the show. What if I get too popular? Am I really ready for this? Things like that. I never thought I would make it to the finals. Real life experience beyond imagination. Imagining and experiencing it are two different things. You've been on the stage before as a band member, right? Does it help to have some experience? You mean Masquerade? We weren't that popular. I know you have a lot of fans, but I'm not the only one who has performed on the stage before. Your crew was quite sensational in Busan. Not really. Ina put on a bitter smile. Look at how cute! I like this look for Ina. The show is walking a very fine line. Our personal life is quite exposed through the show. They're basically edited for broadcasting purposes. But we could be portrayed as totally different people depending on their editing. I guess the rest is up to us. We either run out of things to show or excite others with fabulous performances. I wasn't taking it seriously enough before. I didn't think people would be that curious about me. Ina shook her head. They want to know more than what they see. What they see on the stage doesn't seem to satisfy them. Oh well, I was one of them when I was a spectator. People ask me if I didn't expect this, I have nothing to say. I expected their attention, but in terms of intensity, not really. Ina put her hands together on her chest. Everyone has a secret, right? Something you want to hide, be it small or big. Is it just not acceptable to hide a small secret from people? Ina pulled on her earlobe after a brief silence. I should be whining when I'm one of the finalists, right? Well, it's just between us. Okay, I'll stop here then. Unwanted attention. Ina knew that no one in the show could avoid unwanted attention. Nevertheless, she expressed that the contestants also needed a break from the public eye. Yo, more rapport and more health. Expression of feelings. The public interest in her private life stresses out. She doesn't understand why her stage performance aren't enough for some people. Because they want to know the information. They want to know the specifics of who they are dealing with. That's how it works. Happens with streamers too. Like, they want to know the specifics. What is he, a one-man media show? He's having all the fun by himself. What do you think he's up to? How would I know what's going on in that futuristic brain of his? I just hope he doesn't make things any more serious than they already are. Ina glared at her side as if she was standing next to Hyusung and came back to Do-yoon. What, you heard nothing? Are you even listening? Anyhow, he was treating it like it was business fun. It sure is. He has to hide it to make it look bigger. Ina snorted, but her eyes were quivering. What the hell is he up to? He's so much as what? No, let's just beat the crap out of him and drag his ass out of there. He looks fine now, but it's dangerous in there. We must consider various methods. Right, put some duct tape on his mouth, tie his fingers or whatever. You want to fucking hold him tightly. Like, you want to stop him. Interesting. Identity conclusion. I think Hyusung's just making a wild guess. It's true. What do you think? I don't like Hyusung, but I think he's got a point. You know, the thing they said about the person in last place dying? Who's in last place right now? Hyusung, right? Ina looked like she was asking for consent. She took a step back while the silence continued. What is this, evaluation? I thought you were asking for my opinion. What are you, a judge now? No, that's not. If they're the one who exposed Hyusung before, wouldn't they try to attack him only? To be honest, Seung-yeon talked about all of us. Even then, they exposed him with an anonymous account and disappeared. It's not unusual, but it's similar to now. Well, I'm not so sure. Aside from that, I think he was too hasty. He'll say no whether it's true or not. It'll only provide reasons for the spectators. He's always hasty. Suspicion of identity. Ina somewhat agrees with Hyusung's speculation about Seung-yeon. They disclosed the assault case and disappeared, hiding behind an anonymous Fader account. Gotcha. Well, let's talk to the others and figure out if they agree with that speculation. Hyusung the virtuoso of logic. I have a name for his reasoning. The file on the final incident of Hyusung, the detective. He must have his reasons. He could have thought they were perfect, only in his head. But he's 100% wrong. As Seung-yeon is the one who broke his assault scandal, he must be delusional. He seemed pretty confident. Of course I am. You don't agree with me? To the assumption that Seung-yeon is the informer of Hyusung's school violence, it's nonsense. It can't be the dude or the person. To be honest, it doesn't even make any sense. Hyusung wasn't the only one attacked by Seung-yeon. Think about it once and you get the picture, right? He doesn't listen to a word other people say. Seal clicked his tongue. He locked eyes with Do-yoon again, who was standing awkwardly. The victim who broke the past of his school violence has already been checked by the staff. His claim was true. They just blurting out whatever name comes to mind. If they're the one who broke Hyusung's school violence history, why would they attack Ju-young, Ina, Gyu-huk, and you? I hope they say something that makes sense for a change. Speculation. Seal firmly rejected Hyusung's argument. The victim of his violence was verified by the staff, and Seung-yeon is provoking not only Hyusung, but every other contestant. That is true. There are 2 more keywords. What are the other keywords? What are we gonna figure out? Is Ju-young gonna give us some information? No. Ina seems to believe it to some extent. What do you think? I don't think so. You seem very certain about it. We all got attacked. Jing paused as if she was chewing over what she just said. She stared at Do-yoon and shook her head again. That account was only interested in Hyusung. The whole purpose was to disclose Hyusung's incident. He is buried in his own thoughts. That's why the account who sniped at him came to mind. He shouldn't blindly push ahead, though. If I'm to open up a little possibility, he didn't drop out of the show even after the exposure. And that's why he's unhappy with the entire show, including us. That's why he attacked all of us. Makes sense. Jing nodded but frowned shortly after. Even if that's true, what Seung-yeon said still bothered me. We couldn't just disregard them as a plain guesswork. So we're back to the conclusion that it may not be the case. Nope, I don't think it's Hyusung's classmate. I think it's probably actually a ghost. Drink more water. Oh, dude, we will. Angel's editing. Talk about how I was favored by the editing team and all? Hyusung was the true Prince of B-stars. They removed anything negative and only showed the good parts. True. But has stopped ever since the exposure of his violent past. But yet everything worked out for up until that point. You once fell victim to their magical editing, so you should know better. Do-yoon unknowingly rubbed his mouth. Ina clicked her tongue with a disapproving look on her face. You are as soft as butter despite your devilish eyes. I like butter. Yeah, Butterscreamy and forget it! He was on a roll in the beginning thanks to the favorable editing. Everyone knows that. But you were also one of those contestants who were able to keep their past. Ina raised the corner of her mouth and frowned. She uncrossed her arms and shook her hand. I'm sorry! If you're going to talk about my past, just go away. Shoo. I'm a mosquito now? You certainly sound like one. Shoo. Okay, I'm sorry. Think about how he had been receiving all the benefits. All right, back to, let's just, excuse me. Oh, no. Excuse me. That was a weird sentence. Unfair demand. Jiang was right all along. People gave me their votes so I could make it to the next stage. It's one thing to drop out of the show voluntarily, but he can't make me quit with some ridiculous gimmick. Nobody's going to agree. He's being unreasonable. Ina crossed her arms and snorted. She was staring off somewhere in the distance behind Duyun. It's funny I would say this, but technically the contestants are supposed to be comrades, right? We've been through thick and thin, whether we liked it or not. I don't think we would have lasted if there was only competition. Yuseng was always all out on competing mode. I guess he can't accept the current situation. Both of them stared at the door at the far end of the stage. No answer came out from the locked door. Wake up, please. Look at the mess we're in right now. I'm just afraid something might happen. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that might happen. Somebody might be murdered in 30 minutes. Like, it's kind of crazy. Wishful thoughts. Do you think they might continue with the show? I don't know, but I know how he feels now. You're not the only one. I know what it feels like, too. Ina looked down at her feet quietly. Duyun spoke first after staring at Ina for a moment. What are you thinking about? Huh? Me? I just thought we've come a long way. Yeah, but we knew it was going to be a long way. True. You guys signed up for the show. You guys knew what you signed up for. It was different from what I imagined. I agree. I'm not sure if there's going to be a next episode. They were talking about compensation or whatever, but this public opinion might not even last. We have no clue as to what's going on out there since we're stuck in this hellhole. Where do you think we're going? To the moon, Alice! To the moon! And we take the moon, and we take the moon, and we speculate. What could he possibly have, huh? I could tell he was bluffing when he made a fuss about making that announcement. That would damage him too eventually. Something comes to mind? I knew you know something. Ina turned her head and asked while glancing at Duyun. It looked like she wanted Duyun to confirm that there wouldn't be anything serious. Nothing I could think of. Of course. But he must have something to be acting that way, right? Hey, make up your mind. Did he look like he had something up his sleeve, or is he just bluffing? After talking with Hyusung, you seem to have nothing to tell. I'm gonna calm you down, Ina. To be honest, he didn't seem to have anything on him. Maybe he's just bluffing about the whole thing. Right? Why didn't you say so from the beginning? You got me all confused. You should take a firm stand like that from now on. Was I that capricious? Yeah, you were like a reed trembling in the wind. I see. Ina didn't look nervous anymore. Ina groaned and stared at Duyun again. He's just trying to gain attention. He's just pretending to know about something when in fact he doesn't. He has to do something to live up to the high expectations. He's probably digging his own grave. I just hope he won't drag us down with him. If that happens, I won't be able to stop myself from kicking him. Thoughtless. Ina believes that Hyusung thoughtlessly posted comments on Fader while he was just doing anything to show off himself to get people's attention. Very true. One more keyword left. We got this. I believe. I believe. Excessive control. It was ridiculous. I thought Hyusung would receive some damage. I know, stabbing a teammate in the back during the team mission? I think everyone was clueless there. Ina dropped her head and scratched the back of her head. Duyun couldn't read her facial expression since her hair was hiding her face. Fake. How could he say that to someone's face? Did you ask him why he said it? Of course, I was going to kick him in the ass if he said some bullshit. What was his answer? He said he called me fake because I was fake. Regarding Hyusung's brazen attitude, did you kick him in the ass? Please tell me you kicked him in the ass. So did you kick his ass? I tried, but he dodged it quickly. I think he really knows the meaning of team since he dropped out of school. I'm glad it didn't lead to a bigger fight, though. Come on, I could knock him down if I really wanted. Ina raised her forearm. The sweat on her arm muscle glittered. I didn't because I didn't want to kill anyone. I realized I'd made the right choice when I watched the show on TV. They made it look like I was the one who started it. But in fact, it was the other way around. Ina bit her lower lip, but soon regained her composure and let out a sigh. I guess that's because this is the role I must play. The snobby character fabricated by the show. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? You shouldn't let it get to you. Why? Do I look like a puppet to you? Ina drew her eyebrows together. You sound like you're in despair. I don't think so. Aside from rare occasions, I like the characters. Even if they play with the editing and make it look like you started it? Hey, you're still top 5 even after you were portrayed as the betrayer who backstabbed the other band members. I think it'll be fine. Very true. Jun can only scratch the back of his head at Ina's remark. I don't mind being someone else. I can't change myself if I get picky. You don't mind becoming someone other than yourself? Ina closed her mouth and fell silent for a moment. I don't. I'll play what's expected of me if that's what it takes. Acting. Her image in real life differs a lot from that on TV. She's just playing a character designed by the show. She seems fairly content with her different depiction. You get it? I want to become a completely different person. Team mission. During the team mission, Hyosung irritated his teammate Ina by calling her a fake. That scene was edited, though, to portray Hyosung as a victim when in fact he was the one who verbally offended her. Last keyword, let's go. But we still have some choices to make. I know we don't need these, but still. He acted like one of them spoiled brats. He was so swell-headed that I almost bowed every time I saw him. I think he had his own standard. Who knows? And I don't want to know. So I guess Mr. Do-yoon was able to pass his criteria, huh? He's not as cocky as when he's with you as he was with us, right? I think it's a bit different. Ina nudged Do-yoon on the side while he was thinking about something. Whoa. I'm so jealous of you. A man recognized by the young master. Stop it. Whoa, don't look so discouraged. I sincerely apologize. Are you okay now? Okay, I forgive you. That was quick. Anyhow, he was just too much. That's fair. All right, one more. Ina, suspicion of identity, go. Not that I think about it, I'm confused again. Do you think Sung-yeon is a different person now? To be honest, I wasn't even that sure earlier. Ina grumbled and folded her hands behind her back. Ugh, it feels like I'm manipulated by what Hyosung said, and it feels terrible. I wouldn't call it manipulation. What do you know about the delicate emotion of a lady? I don't know about your delicate emotion, but I know you're not a lady. Look at you, clinging on to minor things. Well, good for you with your broad view. Gosh, you're such a weirdo. When is this going to stop? Until I feel better. Ina was chattering away, but there was a somber look on her face. Yoon almost also felt awkward and took a step back. I feel like crap thanks to what Sung-yeon said. Still, I don't feel like going toe-to-toe with them like Hyosung did. I might not look like an accident survivor. Yeah, I should be all quiet and miserable, so that people would pity me and turn a blind eye to their misgivings towards me, like what I've been doing so far. I have no one to fight for me. Damn, poor Ina. Ina's just like loner McLoner face. I want to give her a hug. Anyway, let's move on. That's all the talking we need to do. 20 keywords acquired, 9 profiles acquired. Rapport has improved. Sanity improved as well. Nice. Yuhuk is absent. Hyosung's absent. Let's see what happens. Hyosung is not doing that only because of the ranking. That's all he's saying, though. He's a shallow fellow, but Ju-young is right. Sung-yeon's death could be another reason. Yes, clearly. Ina tugged at Do-yoon's sleeve. What is this? I feel like an idiot. What else is there besides the fact that he followed her around? Sung-yeon's death clearly contributed to the madness of Hyosung. Do-yoon decided to elaborate why he thought so. I mentioned earlier, I think... Fuck! It's this thing. Shit. Alright, so there's two things. The reason Hyosung must have been profoundly shocked... Probably unknown support, because we think it's Sung-yeon. Yeah, I think it's unknown support and insanity. I think that is what it is. Hyosung relied on Sung-yeon whenever things were unfavorable to him. Although it didn't seem to work after his criminal record had been revealed. There's only so much Sung-yeon could cover for him. Whatsoever, he seemed to have relied on Sung-yeon. But as we've seen, she's gone now. Sweet. Hyosung looked rather relaxed after writing his first post on Phaler. Isn't that because we lashed out at him? When do you think he started acting up again? We found Sungyeon's body, and Sungyeon made an appearance. That's when Hyosung went nuts. Let's go! 2 for 2, let's go! In other words, I think it's true that he relied on Sungyeon and she had been in his favor. When he found out about Sungyeon's death, he must have been enormously distressed. That's why he got so mad at Sungyeon. Special keyword, Hyosung panic. Hyosung was clearly favored by Sungyeon. He grew unstable after discovering her body and went mad as an anonymous account called S. Sungyeon began to write posts. I have a little bit of water. Stop complaining. I'll be fine. I've been drinking water this entire time. Like, I've been going back and forth. No need to worry. I'll be fine. This makes sense though. Like, when you look up to somebody and you're like good friends with them and they're suddenly deceased, like it can fuck with your brain. A shadow appeared from the other side of the stage. They all turned towards it. It's me. What about Hyosung? I'm sorry, just as you see, I failed. Yuhuk's returned. Yuhuk came back alone after speaking to Hyosung. He seemed to fail to persuade him. Is this punk really going to interview every one of us? It's dangerous to stay in the dressing room. We should ignore him. Maybe we should drag him out of there. He locked himself in the dressing room. Right, can't we force ourselves in? Jiyoung sighed and lowered his head. Huh? Jiyoung, what? Hyosung! There's another post. The contestant in last place will be dropped. Do what you want to do. Easier said than done in front of the computer. Bring it on. The group fell silent. Ina barely managed to open her mouth. What is he thinking? Maybe I've agitated him more by going there. No, he's rather worked up while quarreling with S. Sungyeon. After a short silence, Ina came forward. I've got to talk to him. By yourself, it's dangerous. Doon and Gyuhak went alone. If we go in a group, he won't open the door. But still, you gonna ram the door? If the wall collapses, we're all done for. Hearing Ina's remark, Seal hunched up his shoulders. He's obviously agitated. It's not wise to go right now. Wise or not, I have to talk to him about something. Are you going to persuade him? If talking doesn't work, I'll kick him in the ass and drag him out by his hair. Oh shit! Tina's remarked that she won't hesitate to use force on Hyosung if necessary. I mean, it could be dangerous. There could be another collapse. There were tremors there earlier. It's dangerous. If it's narrow and unstable there, it could even collapse. Sorry, Ina. Then just leave him there? What's he going to do in the room if it comes down on him? We need to drag him out somehow. We could ambush him and drag him out of there. I'm going alone. Just stay where you are. Ina stormed out, but briefly paused. I'll just come back if things don't work out, so don't follow me. Are you sure? I'm getting tired of saying I'll be okay. She looked determined. They couldn't hold her back anymore. They could only watch as she disappeared to their side of the stage. Looking at the door for some time, Doon suddenly sensed someone's presence. Do you think she'll be alright? She was adamant about it. What on earth did Hyosung write on Fader? Oh, you have no way of accessing Fader. No, I'm so frustrated. Yoon opened his watch and showed him Hyosung's post. How exciting. Seal raised his head and let out a deep sigh. There was a brief silence. Finally, Seal moved toward Doon again. Anything else? Huh? Seal looked very frustrated. He opened Fader again to check other issues. Mark, let's see what we got. The surprising announcement is about voluntary resignation. That's Hyosung's history. Prediction. Hyosung's haters think that Hyosung's so-called important announcement meant voluntary resignation under pressure from S. Sungyeon. Provocative post. Hyosung posted another provocative comment on Fader, but it wasn't about his important announcement. I see that. Hyosung's fans want to insist that the violence scandal was fake, but since there are more than one victim, they won't succeed. Many alleged victims. A number of people disclosed that Hyosung also beat them up in the past, just like he had done to the first victim. No license. Hyosung's school violence was disclosed right after the top 10 was announced. Are there anyone who don't believe that it was pre-planned? Alleged fabrication. Hyosung's fans claim that his school violence issue is nothing more than a malicious rumor to lower his ranking or kick him out of the audition. Yeah, not much. That's it. Let me just double check. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yep. Like, he did something outrageous again, or not really as of now. Yeah, we can just talk to him about all this. That's fine. I think Hyosung's fans regard his history of school violence simply as a rumor. They're just full of trust, huh? They'll be so disappointed later. Oh, nice. He doesn't even have to explain himself. So he'll put his hand around his waist and pouted his lips. After the talk, some time had passed. Could this be? An ominous air surrounded the area. It's shaking. Watch out! Hug! Excuse me. The intense tremor quickly faded out. You okay? You okay, Ju Young? I'm fine. The time between tremors is shorter each time. Rescue team is making its way in too. Let's try to stay positive. The central corridor should be fine, right? Probably the same as when I was there. I need to go see if Ina's okay. Seal ran off immediately. Seal! Someone grabbed Do-yoon's arm. Do-yoon. Yu-huk stood right next to him. You should stay with Ju-young. Huh? Oh, she's having a panic attack. Ju-young was there, catching her breath with her face all pale. You okay, Ju-young? I can control this. Leave me alone just for a minute. Let's wait and see what happens. Fine. Do-yoon suddenly looked at Yu-huk with bated breath. By the way, what did Hyosung say to you? You haven't told me yet. Yeah, things began to happen as soon as I got back. Yu-huk began his story with a bitter smile on his face. Interesting. That's crazy. Awesome. Love that. Let's make some better choices, shall we? Hi, everybody. Speeding time. Fast forward. Unknown support. Insanity. Continue. We're good. Panic. Yay. Yu-huk's return. You will lose if you lose your temper. Let's see what that does. You lose if you lose your temper. Say whatever you like, but no violence. Friendship! Did you really think I was going to beat him up? We can't leave him in there, though. We have to get him out somehow. We could ambush him and drag him out. Hey, I said I'm going alone. Leave me alone. Stormed out, briefly paused, and then this is all the same stuff. Okay, so let's choose a better thing for him. So we need to talk to him about stuff that makes him look bad. Yeah, panic attacks due to earthquakes. God, whenever like crazy weather happens, I definitely also panic. All right, so we got to remember that Seal hates Hyosung. So let's kind of find something better. Hyosung's fan. So tell Seal about what he would benefit. Let's talk to him about that. The history of his school violence was testified by several other anonymous accounts as well. They all claimed that they were bullied by Hyosung in a similar way. Anonymous testimonies, that means the rumor is real. Whether it's true or not could be a different thing. We can't say it's completely different though. Seal shook his head and retorted. Things falling. Cool. Alright. Sweet. We got positives with everybody. Alright, we get to talk to Yu-huk. Let's do it. We get to figure out what's going on. I think it said it was 1:48, so it's getting close to the end. And we're now 6,000 away. Still kind of slowly getting, you know, Yu-huk's kind of stalled though, weirdly enough. Let's make a phone call with Ju-young. Every time. Ju-young, you okay? Hey, you were worried about me? You didn't look so well. I'm trying to control it. I don't want to be a burden. You're not a burden to anyone. It's very sweet of you to say that. But what matters is my own perception. The whole thing will be over soon. I hope so. Yeah, friendship. You don't have a watch. Can't make a phone call because I can only do a phone call one time. Messenger. Can I talk to people? No conflict. I'm not going to answer because I fucked up. I'm sorry. My mind would go into that. I'm shaker, just minor. Gotcha. All right, social media. Let's see what we got here. Actually, it's probably better if I just press the A button. Or A on the keyboard. Let's see what we got. More and more postings by Sungyeon are being shared. Hyosung keeps talking nonsense. Are you okay? I'm worried too. Fight has attracted more attention. He decided to write more straightforwardly. I'm worried too. I felt relieved that no one was hurt, but I don't know what's happening to people including Sungyeon. Hyosung shouldn't respond to a troll. I've been watching him from the preliminaries. I was looking forward to his performance as a soloist, but why did it end up like this? No. Rescue was the priority. Hyosung was only making things worse at the moment. Even his memories of the preliminaries when he had distinguished himself from the others seemed vague. Would he be able to get back on stage when everything was finally settled? Outstanding. From the start of the preliminaries, he alone received most of the judges' attention and praise. And so everyone likes us. He thought that this was enough Fader for now. Let's see what else we got. How does it feel to lose Sungyeon, who was backing you up? You got no one helping you now. You should have tried your best to impress your fans, not the judges. I mean, I'm still gonna respond to the asshole. Or be a still dialogue, right? Alright, Jungle Penguin. But since you're not my fan, I don't know about how you feel. He's just running his mouth. He was even mocking the victims on the news. Do you decide on a strong rebuke? But since you're not my fan, I don't know about how you feel. Oh, only those suck up to you are for your fans? Then how about you members who don't suck up to you? I guess they're not your true members, right? Shame on you, even Hyosung won't do that. It's not working. But Doyoon felt a little better, at least. Decide to check on new mentions later. Yeah, we felt better. Fuck you, that guy. Yeah, fuck that asshole troll. Dude, asshole trolls, like, they can fuck right off. You said skim through everything, but if there's a picture, I'm going to check the picture. Let's see. Nothing. Alright, cool. We're good. Alright, Gyuhook, we gotta talk to you about stuff. So Gyuhook came back alone after speaking to Hyosung. He seemed to fail to persuade him. What's going on? I really wonder what he's up to. What did he say to you? Oh, that's the scholarship issue. The one mentioned by Sungyeon. He brought it up again. What can you do with that? You'll agree on Fader as if it were true. That's ridiculous. I didn't know what to say. That's simply agreeing with Sungyeon. Gyuhook shook his head bitterly. I should have just told him that I would drop out. You know that's not that easy. Each of us had a reason to join Beastars. I came to Beastars because I was curious. Before I gave up on music, I wanted to stand before the crowd without telling them about my dad and hear what they had to say about me. So it was like a blind test, but the results were far too good. I didn't know I would get this far. You're in first place, dude. Gyuhook scratched his chin. When I first joined the show, I didn't think they would mention my family. There were lots of viral news articles. At first, I thought you were eager to talk about your father. I don't blame you. Even back then, I was thinking about dropping out of the audition. Concerns. He once thought of quitting music. He decided to enter this audition show, regarding it as a test. He thought of dropping out of the show when the media reported on his father. But I didn't. And ended up being stuck in here. Hyosung's threat. According to Gyuhook, Hyosung talked about his illegal receipt of a scholarship and his father's death. He threatened to disclose them if he refused to quit the audition. So pretty much Hyosung's idea is that he just wants to agree with what Sungyeon's saying to make him seem better, which is not going to work. Prediction. Hyosung's haters think that Hyosung's so-called important announcement meant voluntary resignation under pressure from Sungyeon. They aren't thinking straight. Of course not. He's desperate to remain in the show. It doesn't matter what they say out there. I just hope he doesn't fall too deeply. If he gets angry and starts to write comments, it's really going to be over for him. He would know what to do with Fader. While speaking, Doyoon thought about the earlier provocations made by Hyosung. He said he won't go down by himself, that he's ready for anything. Maybe he wouldn't. Actually, I agree. If this continues, it would be a matter of time. Gyuhook nodded and stared at the other side of the corridor. No sound came out from the locked door. I wonder when it's going to happen. I have no idea. There's 2 keywords, so the more we talk to you, the more information we're going to get. Got it. So Hyosung's threat? Hyosung didn't say anything special. Although he pretended to know something important. He always followed Sungyeon around, but he was just one of the contestants. He didn't even get much information. So what did you say to him? I said the ranking after the collapse doesn't mean anything. That we should go back to the stage and wait for the rescue team. He surely wouldn't listen to that. Yeah, you know the results. Failed to persuade. Gyuhuk tried to persuade Hyusung to give up and go back to the stage with him to wait for rescue. He argued that ranking after the collapse wouldn't count, but didn't succeed. Makes sense. When I went in, I was wondering what he would say to me. I didn't know he would be repeating what Seung-yeon said. To Hyusung's mention of Gyuhuk's scholarship. Weren't you hurt? Weren't you hurt when he brought it up again? I'm sorry! To be honest, the scholarship issue won't give me much damage. The fact that I feel ashamed of that incident is another story. Feeling awkward, Duyun scratched the back of his head. So the conclusion is that Hyusung guessed wrong again. Yes, what he's doing now is bluffing. Gyuhuk sighed deeply. He also talked about my father's accident. About his accident? That was around the time of a fundraiser. He had a heart attack while driving. The money and honor meant nothing before fate. Accident. His father died of cardiac arrest several years ago while driving a car. It was the sudden death of a superstar artist who had attained fame and fortune. So what can Hyusung add to that story? He asked me if that was really an accident. He was insinuating that I might have had something to do with his death. That's more shocking than the scholarship issue. I felt the opposite. He went too far on my father's death. Damn. Like he's writing a fiction because he didn't know anything about it. I was okay with it. It was like he wanted to believe it. I felt pity seeing how desperate he was. But if he continues to do that, other people might take it differently. Bluffing. Hyusung didn't seem to know any significant secrets about the others. What Hyusung knew wasn't a threat. So yep, Hyusung is bluffing and trying to be an asshole. Who saw that one coming? So he's just trying to copy what Seung-yeon's saying, and if he copies what Seung-yeon says, he thinks it's gonna make him seem better. Weren't you upset? Weren't you angry with him for repeating what Seung-yeon said? I was surprised at first, as you said, but what I felt next was a sense of pity. Hyuk looked down at his feet. His eyes wandered for a moment. It was like he wanted to believe it, thinking it would actually work. I'm embarrassed to say this, but the scholarship issue won't give me much damage. The fact that I feel ashamed of the incident is another story, and he's bluffing, yada yada yada. Cool. I was like, you're repeating the same thing that just happened. Awesome. He failed to persuade. He was clearly nervous. Something bothered me while I was talking to him. I should probably move my hair so that way you guys can see my eyes. Like what? He kept checking fader even when he was talking to me. That's nothing new. He looked more restless. He said it was almost time. Time? What time? The time Seung-yeon mentioned. About the one in last place being... Hyuk quietly nodded. He continued with one hand under his chin. He regarded all of Seung-yeon's comments as nonsense, but he wasn't free from them. I wish he'd be more honest with us, but I thought he was being frank with you, Duyun. Hyusung's attitude toward Duyun. Yeah, he's more open to me. That's for sure. Or Duyun, rather. Yes, compared to other people? I'm sorry! I see, just as I saw it. Although I'm not sure why. You didn't know, huh? You're a great listener. I thought Masquerade held fast because of that. That's new to me. I guess nobody said it aloud. Feeling awkward, Gyuhuk fiddled with his hair. Aren't you curious about why I wasn't shaken when he talked about my father's accident? I am, to be honest. I would have thought of it as an insult towards your father, and I didn't want to pry on it. That sounds like you. Gyuhuk paused momentarily. He seemed to be pondering on whether to tell Duyun or not. To be honest, my uncle's family, myself included, don't know much about my father. What do you mean? He cut ties with the family as soon as he became an adult. The family was strictly against the music, and they didn't allow any jokers in the family. My father severed ties with them. We all know about his days of anonymity. It wasn't much different even back then. Tough business, huh? But why didn't you know much about him? He always wanted to live a free life. Free from everything, including all of his family. He wanted a life free from anything cumbersome so nothing would hold him back. Maybe he never got to grow up throughout his entire life. Are you saying his musical achievements had nothing to do with his personality? Did I sound negative? Take half of what I said as a compliment. I understand it as a typical characteristic of artistic people. That's how I was able to accept him for who he was. Whatever he found cumbersome, he treated it as if he didn't see it. I was clearly something cumbersome to him. His father, Byung-hee Lee, severed relations with his wealthy family and rose to stardom. He wanted to live a free life and thought of his family as a burden. So I have no choice but to say I don't know much about him. Even if someone speaks nonsense about his life or death, well, it just sounds like a stranger's story. Countdown. Hyusung began to grow anxious as the time Seung-yeon predicted for whoever was in last place draws near. Someone's about to be murdered. Someone's about to be murdered. Someone's about to be murdered. And it's probably gonna be Hyusung. Someone's about to be murdered. Someone's about to be murdered. Someone's about to be murdered. And his name is Hyusung. Hyusung. I'm not sure if he was being more honest with me than the others. Really? That means I'm closer to you. Is that important right now? Hyusung was always saying things to you. That doesn't mean he was being honest with me. I guess you were right about that. Then can I be more honest this time? About what? Feeling awkward, Gyuhuk fiddled with his hair. But why I wasn't shaking? Yeah. You're gonna talk about that. Countdown. Alright, there's our 2 keywords, and we're getting very, very close to 2 o'clock. So I'm curious to see what happens. 4 keywords and 4 profiles. Sanri approve. Nice. They finished the story, but the gloomy feeling still lingered in the air. We weren't getting anywhere with our conversation. It would be the same for everyone. Hyusung's the one who's desperate. All he's gonna do is agree with us, Sung-yeon, and that's not gonna do anything. He continued to act out of desperation. They must think of something. Maybe they should force him out at any cost. Gyuhuk, listen to me. Let's just drag him out. Let's see. Yeah, if he's bluffing, I think that's the best thing to do. Hyusung was just bluffing. The others are getting restless, and the corridor is becoming more dangerous. Gyuhuk stared at Doyoon for a moment. Bluffing. It's true we have to do something. No one has come back from the dressing room yet. I should go and check. Okay, let's go. Use of force. Driven to a corner, Hyusung is just repeating what Seung has already said. He may as well be pulled out before it gets too dangerous. Doyoon walked toward where Jooyoung was. Jooyoung, I think Hyusung should... Where's Jooyoung? Jooyoung was not there with them. Uh-oh. What? Where is she? When did she leave? I think she went somewhere while we were talking. They moved hurriedly. They frantically looked around, but Jooyoung wasn't there. I'll check inside. You call her on the phone. Wait, don't go alone. Doyoon stopped Gyuhuk while he was making the call. Did you go to the corridor? Shoot, it's not working. While they were trying to work the phone, Fader opened. Next contestant is Doyoon. Doyoon, why don't you just give up? You saw what happened to Hyusung. You know how it will end. That's crazy. Doyoon gritted his teeth and attempted to make the call again. What are you two doing? Jooyoung, where have you been? I'm sorry. I was worried about you. I hyperventilated. It was severe this time. If you just disappear like that, I didn't have time to tell you. She's okay, and that's what matters. Why weren't you paying attention? Wait, what about Hyusung? Ino looked worried. There was a problem. Problem? What kind of? The two asked blankly. Hyusung isn't there. The sweat running down Doyoon's back turned cold. You tried calling? I was too upset to think about calling him. Jooyoung shook her head after failing to make the call. It's ringing, but he's not answering the phone. I'll go with you. I was going to bring him here. We should drag him out of there. They didn't see him. Where is he? He can't be in the corridor. There are only so many places he can go to. I'll check the central corridor on the way to the dressing room. If he's not there, I'll check the staff corridor and the restrooms. Well, okay, I came up because something didn't feel right, but I need to check again. Ina. Yeah, we'll use force to bring him back this time. Let's go right now. Yuhuk also took a step forward after locking eyes with Doyoon. I'll get in trouble if a contestant disappears. Okay, let's move. What's happening to Hyusung? He's gone. And Sung-yeon has just hinted at something bad happening. I'm looking around, seeing if there's anything, but I'm not seeing anything. Sound of footsteps echoed around in the dark corridor. He's not here. Let me try the dressing room again. Where the heck is he? I'll go with you. I'll check the staff corridor. Take me with you. Doyoon, what about you? After scanning the corridor, Doyoon's eyes were fixed on something. I'll check the restroom. By yourself? Gyuhuk, why don't you go with Doyoon? No, you should stay with Jooyoung. Gyuhuk's gaze wandered in between Jooyoung and Doyoon. Okay, be careful. They scattered to head toward their assigned area. My heart is pounding right now. I'm actually nervous. I think he's dead though. Hyusung, you there? Doyoon waited, but no one answered. He slowly entered the restroom. My heart is pounding right now. Is he dead? What are we about to see? Are we about to see an... He's dead. He's dead. Hyusung, wake up! Yoon hurriedly lifted Hyusung into his arms. He's not breathing. He felt something sticky on his hand. Blood. His hand was soaked with blood. Ugh! Oh, we lost a lot of sanity. Yoon's legs gave way and Hyusung dropped face down on the floor. Ji-young came running. She moved her lips to scream, but no sound came out of her mouth. Hyusung, what happened to him? What is it? No way. Yu-huk rushed in and held Hyusung's wrist. Can you feel a pulse? Come on, tell me you feel something. Yu-huk slowly shook his head. He's dead? I mean, we kind of figured, but that, you know, makes sense. But Jesus, huh? June stared at Ina vacantly. Look, right now on Fader. There's a post on Fader. Hyusung eliminated. You won't be able to see Hyusung ever from now on. Next target is Dooyun. How much time should I allow him? So it's true that the one in last place would die. To be continued. And we lost a lot of sanity from that. So we, in order to survive, oh, he's dead. We need enough. Oh my gosh. We are in last place by a lot. So everyone fully trusts us. Hyusung is dead. Dooyun's severe sanity dropped because of seeing all of this. But luckily we raised it enough to where, like, we survived. Some time had passed in the state of despondency. Some checked on Hyusung's body, while some just stared at the wall absent-mindedly. Some read posts on Fader, and some just muttered to themselves. Dooyun mindlessly updated his Fader timeline. 2 o'clock, desperation. Hyusung seemed to make every effort, but that wasn't enough. He has been killed. Don't be all smiley, Dooyun. You are next. Hyusung is muted. Hyusung went silent. It's not like him. Anywho, why the others won't post anything? Dooyun uses the bot, but doesn't post anything himself either. Y'all broke your fingers or what? I'm so excited to see what will happen in an hour. Though I actually like this more than the real show. Hyusung even got some attention from blackmailing, but Dooyun didn't get any. I'm not kidding myself out or him. Hey, easy on him. He's busy thinking about how to walk away this time. He pretends he's the troubleshooter, but backs off at crucial moments. That's what he does. Don't even start if you're going to walk away. Ranking competition suddenly caught on fire. How can Dooyun escape this crisis? Man, at first I felt fear, and gradually another feeling came. It was rage. Do you think this is a joke? His rage began to boil up as soon as he recognized it. The parched lip cracked, some smeared with blood. Dooyun discovered he was about to upload a post on Fader. His fingertips trembled. You acted so selfishly. You deserved it. You are not hurt? You are safe now? If you're okay, please leave a comment. This post was now up on the timeline. Well, show's over. There are actually people waiting to be rescued under here. Is everything that's happening here just a show to you all? He's right. We can say we love or hate a certain contestant, but in this situation they are dying now. It's too much. You're safe and sound. So Ina's okay? Ina's okay? Ina's okay? Why make a fuss when everyone else is staying quiet? Lol, you feeling guilty? Scared? I'm sure something happened there, lol. Sungyeon is running wild, so if you want to blame someone, do it on Sungyeon. Leave the others alone. Trying to act cool is a kind of illness. That makes me pissed off. I didn't instigate Sungyeon and cheer for someone's death. Why do I hear such a bullshit? Ah, man, people are shitty. That makes sense. Post was shared all over, spreading all the speed of light. The public reaction to his post was enormous. Say something more? It's not auto-posted, right? Is he free enough to check Fader? He saw all comments but stayed silent, which makes me mad. Must be real scared, Dooyun, but I told you to reveal the truth in order to raise your ranking, not gather unnecessary attention. Always acting like that. Think you're the best in the world. I had much difficulty producing you. He posted something again. Just go away. So Hyusung is okay, Hyusung is okay, Hyusung's okay? I don't want to know about you. Just tell me what happened to Hyusung. What happened to Hyusung? Tell me now. He only answered the easy questions, disappeared. He's seeing all these comments now? Considering how he posted comments so far, he must be monitoring them regularly. Hiding in this situation, great personality. A betrayer won't be changed easily, lol. He is way off the mark. The broadcasting station doesn't pay him for nothing. It's because his fans contributed to higher ratings, but he seems to think otherwise. So he seems to antagonize his own fans. Let's see how far he can go. Sung-young created a new account. Who is it? Do you and Hyosung lied so much to get attention? I have no clue. What will happen if the attacker is really there? Seeing him throwing a fit on Fader, I don't think the situation there is urgent. I understand Do-yoon is relaxing now, but other members should watch out for him. He could betray them anytime, lol. Stop biting Do-yoon now. He must be in tears. Look at the number of shares for Do-yoon's comment. He's even topping the trending chart now. I guess he's taking advantage of Hyosung to raise his ranking. Rage and shock penetrated through his heart. Ugh. Do-yoon closed his bloodshot eyes. Ji-young approached him. Her face was pale. Do-yoon, are you okay? No, I don't know. Yu-huk and I did. Examined his body. Since the others weren't really up to the task. Still carefully chose his words. So what did you find? How did it happen? Hyosung's case is different from Sung-young's. A wound on the back and another on the side, both on his head. This is no accident. He was clearly attacked by someone. Do-yoon got goosebumps on his back. By Sung-young? We don't know who did it yet. It must be. If it wasn't Sung-young, everyone stared at Do-yoon. It's gotta be one of us. Come on, none of us had the time or chance to do that. Do-yoon covered his face with both hands. He didn't even have time to collect his senses. Do-yoon, did you write something on Fader? Did you write about Hyosung? Well, because people were busy bullshitting on Fader. A man died and you found time to play with Fader? Wow. The rest of the group turned on their watches with incredulous looks on their faces. Huge reaction from the community. This is the first time he wrote a proper post. We have no time to spend on Fader right now. It's an emergency. What on earth is going on? After looking at her watch for some time, Ina slowly raised her head. Sung-young might not be some dork. If you think about the timing of their post, they posted a comment nearly at the same time we found Hyosung. We looked everywhere in here earlier. There wasn't any passage for someone to use from outside. If we disregard the possibility of someone else getting in here, we will be the only ones remaining in the end. Everyone froze at Seal's remark. Well, I need to elaborate on this. Ji-young and Ina couldn't have physically subdued Hyosung. You're saying Yu-huk, you, and me are the suspects. Don't get me wrong. You all know I wasn't on good terms with Hyosung. I might be an easy target since I'm just a staff member, but what's your point? My point is that you shouldn't suspect me, seriously. Seal clenched onto the strap of his messenger bag. You guys were alone when you made the trip to the dressing room. There's no reason for us to corner you just because you're a staff member. Right. He stared at the rest of the group with his gloomy eyes. Please restrain yourself from using Fader. If our situation is reported as is, things could get out of control. I guess we should just call the rescue team? Ji-young averted her gaze from Hyosung's body and changed the subject. We have to inform them that there's been a casualty. I'll make a call. Moreover, the phone wasn't working either. Ji-young took a step toward the corridor. Let's go to the corridor. Try again when we get there. Yu-huk hung up the phone and turned around. It was noisy. There must be a lot of people gathered around. They think this is some kind of entertainment? They'll just get in the way. What did the rescue team say? Nothing much. Told us to move out of the corridor and stay on the stage. That's not very helpful. Ji-young blurted out quietly. Ina tapped the watch on her wrist. There's a lot of talk on Hyosung. It's because he stopped posting comments at the peak of the online argument with Sung-young. It's obvious that we're the victims, isn't it? Why are people mocking and blaming us? Because they don't know exactly what's going on in here. Do-yoon opened Fader after listening to them for some time. There's someone who went to the accident site. The site's cordored off with police lines and tons of fire trucks, ambulances, and heavy machinery's arrived. I'm a bit scared. It's a miracle that people managed to escape from the collapse. But there's nothing I can do to help out here. If I show them Sung-young's posts, will they believe that someone died inside? I told the police here about Sung-young's post, but they ignored me. They said they are investigating the accident, so wait for the results. If nothing's happened, that's fine, but if they get something to tell, why don't they? The broadcasting vehicles are here too. They are talking with people from broadcasting stations. What are they saying? Someone approached the police outside and asked them about the situation in here. Why don't they just wait and watch the news? 1 hour has passed since Hyosung wrote the comment. I guess there's a slight chance. He's posting comments on Fader, so his smartwatch seems to be working fine. Considering the rapid proliferation of Sung-young's posts, Hyosung should act by now, but he's remaining silent. What happened to Hyosung? Do-yoon isn't posting any comments since then. Considering they take no action for the controversial vote, I guess they have no capacity to respond to it. They seem to postpone the announcement until the rescue operation ends, but they can't stop media reports. Soon, one of the media will expose the truth. Can't read the posts anymore. Just now, there was a news release about Hyosung. More casualties from the Buried Stars accident site. Breaking news. Did you see the news 10 minutes ago? Casualties? He's really dead. Even after the accident, they were trying to resume the show and popularity vote leading to this disaster. It must be an accident, right? Sung-young really killed him? Do you see what's going on around here right now? Duyun is next. His response is weaker than I thought. I guess he's still not realizing what's going to happen to him. Please show your support to Duyun. A lot of tips are coming in. Thank you. Swear Duyun, not me. Please. Having fun? This is not a TV show. What the heck are you doing now? Everyone must be feeling frustrated since no one is able to check what's real or not. Those who might know about the answers are just busy talking about themselves. Whew. Vesungyeon's been blocked. Hyosung fans got so pissed off they started ratting. Oh, Mao. If Vesungyeon is an attacker, what's the point of blocking Fader? Blocking them doesn't mean they're going to disappear out of this world, you dimwits. Hey, close Fader and get your bums out there, Lo. We need to investigate Duyun. Without Hyosung, all contestant will make it to the next round automatically. Duyun, the betrayer, may have conspired with Vesungyeon. I didn't think that way. It's not impossible, lol. Man, I hate that Jungle Penguin. Fuck Jungle Penguin. It's breaking news. It must have been written by a reporter who was camping around the site. The rescue team must have leaked it. Some are saying Vesungyeon was right. You really think they're somewhere in here? Let's head to the stage right now. We need to get out of here immediately. Yeah, let's move. Watch your head. This way. Man, the stage is getting even worse. Jesus! This area looks more dangerous than before. It should be okay for a while, although I'm not sure how long it'll last. Watch your surroundings. Something might fall. We should be alright as long as we stick together, right? Yeah, we should be fine. Ji-young answered her own question while wrapping her arms around herself. A depressing mood lingered. Duyun lowered his head and tried not to think about anything. The stage had collapsed. They had found Sungyeon dead. The popularity voting was still running despite this mess. As Sungyeon appeared out of nowhere, insulting the group and announcing the murder of the last place contestant, Hyosung began to threaten other contestants to drop out. Then he was found dead. As Sungyeon's threat to murder whoever was in last place, Hyosung was clearly attacked by someone. Did it matter? Duyun couldn't even keep his own sanity. He had no desire to delve into thoughts or to solve anything anymore. Why is this happening? The only thing left for me to do is to give up and just wait for time to pass. He just needed to endure. Everything will end once the rescue team arrives. Then this nightmare will disappear as well. Duyun grasped the watch with his right hand. What's the point of checking out what's happening out there? There was absolutely no need for that at the moment. Some time had passed, whether it was a few minutes or a few hours, he wasn't sure. Duyun squinted and raised his head. He turned around to see who was touching him. Duyun. Yeah? There's some weird discussions going on. What discussions? Look at this. I guess all of these were manipulated by WBS. Hyosung and Duyun are sharing the lead on the trending charts. Even the people who weren't interested in B-Stars looking up who they are now. If news reports are wrong and all of them were found alive, that would go viral. Hyosung said that Ju-young, Ina, Gyu-huk, Duyun, and one floor director are waiting to be rescued. Who's this floor director guy? Seeing how things turned out, I'm really glad Masquerade didn't make it to the finals. It's impossible to enter the accident site. If Vesungyeon is real, it must be one of the person inside, unless they are reporters or staff members. Anyone who's visited the site today would know why it's impossible to sneak inside the collapsed building. They've literally checked everyone. All of the audiences signed up in advance to watch the show, and they already confirmed that they'd checked the list. The floor director? The guy with the grim look? I usually laugh off conspiracies about causing intentional scandals to raise viewer ratings, but when the producer is Sungyeon Shin, I just can't put it past her. What's the use of prying on the floor director's personal information? I don't understand. I heard the floor director trapped in the collapse site really hated Hyosung. There's even a conspiracy theory that this guy schemed everything. As Sungyeon knows so much about the contestants, if what happened to Hyosung wasn't an accident, he could have been attacked by one of the survivors, right? The floor director looks suspicious, looks like a betrayer just like Duyun. He must be the dude who hushed us when we were cheering for Gyu-huk last time when we went to the studio. But he didn't say anything when Ina was performing on stage, so other fans were complaining that the staff are favoring certain contestants. Seal? Ina's performance blew his mind. After she stepped down from the stage, he kept following her like a little pet. Duyun raised his head. Seal was nervously fiddling with the strap on his messenger bag. Why are people bashing Seal all of a sudden? They released the names of the dead and survivors with photos. But that's not the problem here. Holy shit, oh my god, Seal is stalking Ina. I just saw something creepy. Is that the guy, the floor director? Something scary just appeared out of nowhere. What is that? There's more. Damn, here he is too. These are some photos taken by my fans. But why is Seal there in every one of them? You knew about this? Why would I bring it up now if I already knew about it? I'm sure it is that floor director. Ina lowered her watch. Wanna know what I think? What do you think? I think I found him. The stalker who's been sending letters to me. Oof, a stalker? Yeah, no, she already talked about the stalker and that there was letters. We already kind of knew that. Wow, that was the end of chapter 4. Well, that was quick. We're still behind in the rankings, but yeah, Yusung's dead. As far as everything goes, our sanity level is still dropping. So this was a sanity test. Ina walked towards Seal. Ina? What are you? What do you mean? It's you, right? What? No, it's not me. I would never attack Yusung. No, not that. I mean the stalker. It's 3:30 in the morning. Collapse. What? Seal's face turned pale. Seal gulped and took a step back. What's that got to do with me? I'm suddenly your stalker? Explain this then. Look at the pictures. Ina thrust her watch before Seal's face. What is this? What is this? It's you in the photos. I'm in the far corner in the photo. So what? That doesn't mean I'm your stalker. Do you have any other proof? What's going on, people? You two, will you step away from each other? We should also hear Seal's explanation, shouldn't we? You heard him. He's demanding more proof. Dean took a step back in the sharp retort. He was about to lose his sanity. Yeah, that's true. No worries. Dean, it's going to get too tense. We need to calm them. What can we do? It's already out of our control. Those were photos taken by random people. Not just a couple, but dozens of them. Hi. Dune, you're one of the most reasonable people here. Say something. Dune squinted and looked away. They've lost people. Everything, including the conversation, was important, but this could be dealt with later after they were rescued. Getting out of here as fast as possible, that was the only thing occupying Dune's mind. Will you ever stop saying no to everything? Let me see what's in your bag. No, why would I? If you have nothing to hide, just open it so we can get this over with. Seal clenched his bag. When we examined all of our personal belongings, Hyusung said Seal's bag should be included. I shouldn't have covered for you then. Who knows if Hyusung was attacked because he mentioned Seal's bag? The atmosphere grew somber at the mention of Hyusung. Seal, let me see the bag. They're talking about Hyusung now. Let me just see what's in there. I didn't know you would do this to me. Do you all agree with her? That I have to open my bag? Nobody dared to answer. His eyes glared with hostility. Wow, what a joke. After everything I've done for you all, this is what I get? I know it's all very sad, isn't it? But you know what? You brought it upon yourself. Give me the bag! I said no! This is not good. Let's go! He's stubborn as hell. Just then the bag flew open. All eyes were on the contents that spilled out of Seal's messenger bag, which was a tablet. It was clearly a tablet PC on the floor. You said the notebook was the only thing you had. Ina's angry shout suddenly stopped. The photos? No. Seal hastily put his belongings back to his bag. It was you, confess. Just stop for a second. You're only making things worse. I can't breathe. Juyong groaned, clutching at her chest. Gyuhuk hurriedly moved Juyong out of the way. Give up, it's all over. No, it's not. Then Seal pushed Ina away. Ugh! Seal was forced slightly backward after pushing Ina away, but he was at the edge of the stage. Huh? Seal lost his balance and fell straight backward. Holy shit. The groans quickly subsided. His hands helplessly dropped to the floor. Seal's dead. Ina just killed Seal. Dooyoon and Gyuhook stood before the body with vacant looks on their faces. Their quivering eyes were wandering between Seal and the piece of steel protruding from his chest. He's dead. It can't be. Seal, can you hear me? Wake up. Too late. Seal lay there, his eyes closed. What the? Oh man. The sound caused the two of them to turn around. Is he dead? Seriously? I tried to say something, but they could barely nod. Ina took a step back, staggering. I didn't mean to do this. You saw it, right? I didn't push him. He pushed me, so we both fell backward. He just happened to be standing on the edge. You saw it, right? Dude, didn't you see it? Ina's jaw was trembling. Ina, I didn't in front of you. Ina! Gyuhook moved closer to Ina. Ina looked at Seal, who lay behind Gyuhook. Her eyes blurred with a feeling of despair. No, I didn't do it. Ina quickly turned around and began to run. Dune reached out his hand but couldn't grab her. Heavy breathing noises. His vision blurred. He felt like the sound of his own breathing was coming from the distance. Dune! He came to himself as someone grabbed his shoulder. Gyuhook, he's dead. Seal is dead. I should have tried harder to stop the fight. They looked at each other with stunned expressions. He held back his tears and raised his head. I have to go find Ina. While nodding, Gyuhook suddenly opened his eyes wide. Ju-young! She's on the stage. We rushed down here. The two went around and rushed to the stage. Oh shit, Ju-young's gone too. Not here. What do we do now? Behind the stage, that's the only place they could be. Let's go. Ah! Gyuhook dropped to one knee. Dooyoon lowered himself to hold Gyuhook. Gyuhook looked just as terrified as Dooyoon did. The tremor was more intense than previous ones, but it finally died out. This can't be. This can't. Gyuhook, now is the time. Let's go. We gotta chase down Ju-young and Ina. Ina accidentally murdered a dude, and Ju-young's having anxiety attacks. Shit. The dressing room is locked. Who's in there? Anyone inside? Ina, Ju-young. No response. Come out and talk. It's dangerous in there. Go away. Ina, you'll be in big trouble if there's another tremor. I'm already in big trouble. You saw what just happened. She was panicking. Gyuhook gulped. Why don't you trust us and just open the door? My life is over. You saw it. Just leave me alone. Gyuhook stopped punching and started ramming his head against the door. This isn't right. Come on. Where's Ju-young, though? Is Ju-young with you? No, she's not here. As Gyuhook raised his head, his eyes met Dooyoon's. Then, she wouldn't be with Hyusung. That staff corridor. Ina will listen to Ju-young. Ju-young's having anxiety attacks. We don't know what's gonna happen with her. She could probably dend herself with her anxiety attacks. What's around the corridor? More heavy breathing. Ju-young, hey! Not here. The inside crumbled when the place shook earlier. Let's go. The two slowly went in, and... She got crushed? Why is everyone dying? Why is everyone dying? Ju-young, no, this can't be. They ran toward the pile of stones. He grabbed the pale wrist jutting out from the rubble. No pulse. What? I became choked up with emotion while holding the cold wrist. Gyuhook panted heavily while moaning from pain. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have left her alone. He curled himself up and wrapped his hands around her head. Or his head. All the above. Dooyoon covered his face and slowly collapsed. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Dooyoon. Gyuhook grabbed his shoulders and groaned painfully. Dooyoon, you shouldn't have saved me. If I died earlier, things wouldn't have gone this far. Dooyoon didn't have the strength to disagree. He choked up and his eyes blurred. He couldn't begin to speak. Why did all this happen? Sungyeon, Hyusung, and now Ju-young? We can't stay here. Let's go. He was losing it. He couldn't even get himself up. Just leave me alone. His hands dropped from his shoulders. The staggering footsteps gradually edged away. I gotta stop for a moment. Everyone's dying so fast. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting, like, kind of the typical, like, visual novel format, right? Where, like, somebody dies, and then there's talking, discussion, trying to figure out who the murderer is, and then someone else dies, and then so on and so forth. Sometimes there's a surprise death, so I was like, Seal. Okay, Seal surprisingly died. Now we have to focus on Ina, and here's the entire Ina story. Ju-Young dying came so far out of left field. Like, so incredibly far out of left field. Like, I don't even know what to think. I am literally, like, confused. I'm literally confused. Like, the 3 people have died within an hour of game time. And you know, Seal didn't technically matter, but there was a tablet PC, but we're not going to talk about the tablet PC. So I'm going to hypothesize real quick, because for those who never watched me do visual novels or story games, I know it's been a while, but let me explain. I like to try to kind of do some guesses beforehand, just to kind of get an idea and get my thoughts collected when a lot of stuff happens. In this case, you know, Hyusung got killed by somebody. We don't know who. And honestly, I don't think it's any of the people in there. I think it's the other character we have not met based on the screen at the top. Seal died from Ina, but it's so weird that both of them, I know it's like Newton's law where every action has an equal opposite reaction. So they pushed each other away from each other. Ina hit a girder and got stopped. Seal, not so lucky, got killed. Ju-Young was having panic attacks and wanted to be left alone, which understandable for panic attacks and anxiety attacks. But with the tremor happening, she got crushed. She didn't get killed by anyone. She got crushed. So this is my thought process right now. I think we're on an ending. I think we're about to get to an ending in this game. And something's going to change. That is my hypothesis right now. Once again, some people don't like when people hypothesize about things that happen, but this is my hypothesis. I think we're about to see a whole bunch of people die, and it's going to be an ending to the game, and it's going to unlock so much stuff. That's my hypothesis, because the fact that there are now 3 characters left in such a short time, I don't know where they can go from this. I really don't. So let's see what happens. After a long struggle, he couldn't even cry anymore. I can't lose any more of my friends. I should go now, before it's too late. Ina, please open the door. The corridor is crumbled. It's dangerous in there too. Something happened to Ju-Young. What happened to her? She was in the corridor. It collapsed. Either you made a choice that had a bigger impact to the ending. I think it did, honestly, because sorry, let me stop real quick so we can talk about it. Because I think if you're normally playing this game, you're not focusing on your mental health in this game. There is a whole mental health bar that you guys can see on the right side. It's right over here is usually where it is. And I had so much positive mental health that Do-Yoon did not die from mental, like, depravity. I think the fact that I've been choosing all of the correct responses and keeping my mental health has caused me to go down a path that I'm not supposed to. I think. That's maybe, I don't know. And now she's dead. Ina, come out, please, before it's too late. Do-Yoon knelt down before the door. It's all over. If she's gone, I'd rather end it here. What are you talking about? Open up. Open the door and come out. There was no further response. Did she just kill herself in there? Do-Yoon slowly walked away from the door. His head felt like exploding. His head began to ring. What about Gyuhuk? Where is he? Oh, this is a block door, right? He staggered toward the stage. No, that's the stage. Gyuhuk. Please tell me Gyuhuk's not dead. Because if that happens, I'm losing my mind, dude. I'm losing my mind. Gyuhuk, where are you? Look at my awesome boots, though. Sorry. Do-Yoon looked around trying to find Gyuhuk. I couldn't see straight. I wasn't sure if I was trembling in fear or the ground was shaking. He hung himself. He hung himself. Everyone's dead. Everyone died. Oh. Do-yoon unwittingly grabbed Yu-hook's shoulder. Yu-hook's body hung there, slowly turning. His face was messy with tear marks and saliva. Do-yoon did not scream. He held Yu-hook's wrist, although he knew it was too late. His wrist was still warm, but there was no pulse. Do-yoon carefully lifted Yu-hook's body up and laid it down on the floor. And collapsed next to it. Someone was laughing. It took me a while to realize that it was me. I wiped the tears off my eyes. Yeah, because if we did not have enough mental health, we would have probably died as well. But we did. I was completely alone now. No, I could still talk to someone. Do-yoon absentmindedly opened Fader. He wrote a post, uploaded it. All dead. And closed his eyes. More heavy breathing. What is this sound? Was it the sound of the rescue team? Maybe they were digging the last tunnel to get in here. He looked down to find the flickering watch. It was Fader. He unwittingly opened the app. You're not making any sense. Please give more support to Do-yoon. Hey, Sung-yeon's back. What? A pretentious comment on Fader. What's going on? What happened now? Can you please reply? Did something happen? Why is everyone dying? What did you do to Ina? You can't just disappear after posting something like that. Try to attract attention in the situation? You're completely hopeless. Why do you say they are all dead when they are still alive? Did you kill them yourself? Do-yoon looked aside. Yu-hook was lying on his back silently. Do-yoon, you shouldn't have saved me. If I died earlier, things wouldn't have gone this far. Yu-hook put all the blame on himself. I should have told him it wasn't his fault. Sorry, I'm writing it on a note. Just gonna keep that in mind. Shouldn't have left him alone. Do-yoon had thrown himself to save Yu-hook, and then left him to hang himself. Do-yoon pulled himself up. Across the stage, Seal must be lying on the floor with his chest pierced. Do-yoon, you're one of the most reasonable people here. Say something. Do-yoon blankly stared into the air. Do-yoon, it's going to get too tense. We need to calm them. Could I have prevented this tragedy if I had intervened earlier? Hag! I failed to brace myself. I neglected, ignored, and avoided problems. And now I'm the sole survivor once more. Do-yoon slowly opened his watch. So sorry, it's all my fault. What did you do? What did you do to Ju-young? If anything happens to her, you're going to pay a heavy price for it. It's a bit late, but Do-yoon wants to confess to his sins. What the heck is that Sung-yeon doing again? If anything happens to Ina, you're dead meat. True betrayer, lol. It's not your fault, Do-yoon. Don't blame yourself. You say that when people are dying under the debris? Isn't it obvious when he's the only one using Fader after saying that everyone's dead? Isn't it obvious when he's the only one using Fader after saying that everyone's dead? Probably locked himself up after that fuss about Sung-yeon and Hyosung dying. Do-yoon is not that kind of person. If he really intended to do so, he would have betrayed all of them before anyone noticed. Or ask other members to post comments. If no comments are posted by others, then they all must be dead by now, agree? The betrayer might have committed suicide, lol. He's using Fader to post his crap when no one knows if Yu-hook is alive or not. If anything happens to Yu-hook, I hope this asshole dies as well. Just ignore them. Frankly speaking, he deserved it. He betrayed his old band members and ended up like this. He's paying for what he's done so far. Justice served. Great. People are so mean. They pointed Seal as the attacker before, now accusing the wrong person. He said that it was all his fault, lol. Other contestants say nothing. He must have killed them all or hid himself somewhere. I hope he's dead. If he ran away alone, stay and die there. If he gets out, I'll crush him myself. Or he left Hyosung for dead. Are you happy that you'll become the winner this way? Is this why he left the band? If you alone get out of there alive, you'll be the winner. Just take your own life. The show is done now. What about Ju-young? Be responsible for what you've done. Betrayer. Betrayer. Duyun took off his watch and walked toward Gyuhyuk. He slowly loosened the tie strangling Gyuhyuk's neck. Buddy, I'll borrow this. Gyuhyuk was silent. He's killing himself. Duyun's killing himself. Maybe he nodded. The watch on the floor kept on flickering. Duyun stared at the tie in his hand. Nobody wants me to survive. Even he didn't want himself to live on. It's all because I was indecisive. I should have more actively intervened and meditated on a settlement. If only I had maintained my sanity and comforted those on the verge of a breakdown. Oh, I don't deserve to live. I can't handle this anymore. Tears rolled down my cheek. Should have just died after saving Gyuhyuk. I would have been remembered as someone better than a betrayer or a bystander. He unhung the tie on the pillar and wrapped the other end around his neck. He looked up at the ceiling, his eyes blurry. I could no longer see the ruin. The bright lights, cheers, applause, and all the moments of glory. I was willing to do anything to bring back those moments. He was finally ready to make everyone happy. Did the game do what I think the game just did? Because if so, this is incredible. Breaking news concerning the buried stars stage. The rescue team entered the collapse site where a total of 7 people have been trapped, finding just 1 still alive. Staff members Sung Yeon Shin and Seal Chang and contestants Ju Young Min, Yu Sung Seo, Gyuhyuk Lee, and Do Yoon Han were found dead. Ina Oh, the sole survivor, has been sent to the hospital for treatment. Ina's alive. The police who accompanied the search stated that the additional collapse made it hard for them to. So Ina's alive. She just got quiet. I thought she did, but she fooled all of us. I'm gonna be honest. I think the game just punished me for all of the quick saving. If that is the case, that is incredible. Because once again, I wanted to try to do like the best choices first, right? I want to keep everyone's rapport and everything. And I think the game actually punished me for making everyone trust me and having that high of mentality. I legitimately think that's the case. So this is one of the endings of the game, but there's probably more, there's obviously more endings, so I guess we're gonna see some more stuff probably later. But nobody was shown. The problem is this game definitely would probably show that. I'm used to games like just having implicit deaths, so I'm so used to it that I just don't think about questioning it. So it's honestly a surprise to me that she lived. End of exercise part. Show will go on. End of exercise part? What? Normal end. Show ended. So we got the normal ending. So let's see what happens. You reach the first ending. You can start a new game to reveal other possibilities. So hold on. So that's end of exercise part. End of problem, sanity, and rapport. Keep Duyun's sanity intact and build rapport with the others. A new path might lead you to the truth or even more mysteries. End of problem, reasoning and survival. Communication leads you to the truth, but above everything else, survival is the most important thing. Don't look up the ending. Do not look up the endings. Do not look up the endings. You will spoil yourself. Josh, don't you dare. I'm saying don't spoil yourself either. So let's take a look. Like, don't, I think that's just how the game normally is supposed to end. That's like the normal end. So I'm just going through these real quick. Attachments. Missing a few. Yeah. So I'm just going through this real quick. I just want to make sure that there's no... So there is definitely a lot more to do. Interesting profile. So 50%. 75%. No, 50. Seal. We know very little about Seal. Good job, Seal. You don't know who this person is. Challenge. Entered a particular branch for the first time. So we... Okay. Interesting. One more. Ending. Ignored a request to change the ringtone, which was a death. Saw the first ending. Show it. So... Start a new game with your collection preserved. So wait a second. So let's try New Game Plus. Let's just see what this is before we move on. The above icon will save a loading. Do not turn this application. Okay. Picture. Yeah. A little scarlet color. I don't know what just happened. Forget that happens. Hold on. Saw the first ending. I think I did that before, is I accidentally press control and it skips things. I'll try this again. Come on. Let me see. Config loaded gamepad. Don't need to know. So I'm just gonna click. I'm not gonna press control. I need to see what happens. There's Duyun again. Wait. So we already know Sung Yoon's dead. Hey. Are you Duyun Han? Not gonna answer? Wait, we've seen this before. This is the beginning of the game. Wait. God damn it. I need to redo this. Hold up. It just said truth of something. Hold on. It just said truth of something. I'm sorry I keep like alt F4ing the game real quick. I just want to, I'm like, there's something I'm missing that I think me skipping through it is a bad idea. Hold on. So let me just get through this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna skip through it. Ensure the results of the SMS vote. This is the Berry Star stage. 5th place. The bottom, Gardens of School. 4th place is Do You. Yeah, I know. That's something apparently I missed. But hold on. We're just gonna see stuff. Everyone's just freaking out. It's part of the first competition, celebration of talents. So something's happening. I'll give it. There's Seal. This is a survival game. Survivor perish. There's Sung Yeon, who dies. Can betray. Now reveal the truth to everyone. Oh, that's something that actually happened in the beginning. I remember that. We saved Gyuhyuk. Remember that. I don't remember this. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that. And there's one person we don't know who they are. Does this in the... I don't remember this. Why don't I remember this? I really... I actually don't remember. I don't remember this playing. Wait a second. Was that... I feel like this didn't play in the beginning because it's now showing secret other person. I actually think I don't think this played in the beginning. I don't remember this. Yeah, I'm playing the New Game Plus, exactly. Once again, we've already read all this before anyone's like, why aren't you reading this? Still alive. Yes, you are. No way to find out. Or filled with goosebumps. Yeah, no, this is the plus version. I know that. Not just a betrayer. I remember that. Duyun, you're a betrayer. Yes, there's Gyuhuk. We're buried under some rubble, but we're alive. Like, I would control through this, but I don't know if we're about to see anything new. The beginning. That's all stuff that we've already known. But what is... Yeah, no, we've seen this before. I would love to skip through it. Stage collapsed instantly. That's auto. Yeah, no, that didn't play. That didn't play in the beginning. Holy crap. So, smart. So hold on, so keywords. We start with collapse, but don't we... So wait, what does this mean? Wait, what? Engine report. Oh, it actually tells me. What? Sorry, I'm gonna just try something. So it has, so that's just saying it has a chance. Sorry, I'll explain it. Sorry. So essentially what it is, hold on. So essentially you can check, it might be better if I go over here and do this. So we get 2 keywords. Our sanity worsened, but that's fine. I don't really care. So this is just teaching us how this works. We already talked about that. Reason for the collapse, which we already have. Smartwatch, everyone has the smartwatch. So yeah, we get to just talk to all of them, but we have to figure out more things. So interesting. I think it's this one, right? That makes sense. Contact the right side world, which is the smartwatch. Everyone's happy because we chose the right thing. So yeah, I'll explain in a moment. I'll explain in a moment how I think this is working. What to say? excuse me, as our info, let's say so. Told you anything, a awkward silence lingered, so Ina's happy. Okay, so here's what I think is going on. I can't recall from my contacts. So we essentially can click every single one of these. So these are all keywords that we got, and like it tells us how it works. So if we say these to different people, like what it does. Now, obviously we didn't say these to a few other people, which I think the reason why for some of them it doesn't have it means that it goes down. So we want to try to prevent these from going down as much as possible. We don't mind if it's like that, but yeah, we want to raise rapport with everybody. So I think the entire gist is that we need to once again raise everyone's rapport and do the same things as always. I think what I'm actually going to do is just ask everybody everything. If it's a choice. So this is actually going to be the end of Buried Stars for today, but I want to talk about what my idea is. So as you can see, there's the keyword acquired. So by asking about the smartwatch, we get a keyword that's needed to move on, right? But this icon means that the rapport has a chance of going negative or positive. What we want to do is once again get everyone to super positive. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also, as you can see, for sponsorship, Hyusung is not listed here in the log, which means that if I ask him it, he's going to have a negative response. But that's okay, because we're just going to try to speed through it as best as we can, so that way we have all of this unlocked, just in case. So, like, Hyusung is going to just react negatively to a lot of things, and this one looks like Seal reacts negatively. I mean, yeah, so we have all this information. Don't tell me what the difference is, because this is the difference, and if you tell me any more, I will treat that as a spoiler. So do not tell me. I mean, obviously it unlocks other endings. I should change the ringtone. What is it? Is it here? No, that's recordings. Settings. There we go. I remembered. That was something in the beginning, because if you don't change your ringtone, you die. So yeah, wow, interesting. I mean, so the other thing though too is on chapter 2, we have to talk to the plug hole person. So the beginning of New Game Plus also tells us like where we can start branching off from things. How would you die from not changing a ringtone? Because you change your ringtone, you duck and avoid falling debris. And the only reason I know that happened is because I found it really weird when like that thing happened. And where is it? Ending. Ignored a request to change the ringtone, because somebody tells you to change the ringtone as soon as you can, and if you ignore it, you just die. So that's super interesting though. That is actually really, really interesting. That the way that this works is that now, okay, I do have some issues, but I'm gonna talk about that here in a moment. So, oh God, there's a lot we get to decide here. I'm actually excited for this now. First off, I want to apologize for delaying this for so long, because honestly, I wanted to check out Buried Stars and like continue on with it since we last played it in December, and I never did just because I got sidetracked with other games. We will be hardcore focusing this in the coming days. Thoughts so far though regarding, and I do remember the stuff that happened in the beginning, like 5 months ago for those first 2 streams. I remember what happens, so like I'm glad I at least have like good memory of the games that I play. Let's talk about that real quick. So I remembered all the stuff about Hyusung, and it was interesting to see that even with maxed out rapport, because I missed the plug hole conversation, I got locked into, I guess, a specific place. I'm not sure, but here's what I'm thinking. Was that work hat? No, it was not. That was my typical hat. I like the fact how the game strings you along for the beginning. I really, really enjoy the fact that the game strings you along and gets you the story, gets you invested in the characters. You're like, oh shit, Hyusung's dead. Who saw that one coming? And then when everyone starts dying one after the other, that was insane. I actually really, really like the fact that the game's just like, ha, you thought that it was just gonna be Hyusung dying and you had to raise your ranking? Screw you, dude. Guess what? Everyone's dead, including you, except for Ina, because Ina, we kind of know that Ina's a fake, kind of going into things, but it's interesting. It definitely is very, very interesting. Now, the New Game Plus idea, where the fact that you get to see the previous keywords and see how it changes rapport, is huge. And I like the idea that at the beginning it gives you a hint on what you need to do to find a different ending. So I have on a note card, this is my Buried Stars note card right here. Bots, you can get fucking banned, bitches. So peace. Effect after Seal Death, they fell in despair and died. Yeah, exactly. And I really, really do like how that all worked, because it was very well framed. I have the note card, like I said, that has written on here what we need to do for Buried Stars. And I think the way we're going to do it is every stream moving forward, we are going to try to get to another ending. I think that's the best way to really do it. So next time we stream this, which according to my little spreadsheet here, that will be, so every Thursday and Sunday will be story-based games. That's going to be the focus happening, with Tuesdays kind of being up in the air. Sorry, not Tuesdays. Saturdays. Saturdays may also be story games depending on what we're doing. We're going to be focusing on this game predominantly so we can get through it 100% it and see all the endings and such. I really want to 100% this game and see everything that it has to offer. Now, and every stream moving forward, like I said, we will get to another ending. However long it's going to be, we will get to an ending. The only time we won't be streaming it if I like work that day, because then I'd probably like not have enough time. But we will try to get to a different ending every single stream, however long it takes. I have stated though that this game does at one point tell you, hey, if you are streaming the game at this specific point of the game, there's a pop-up, and it's actually shown on, there's a Steam like news thing, I believe. Yeah, Buried Stars streaming policy. Restrictions on specific sections in game. After reaching a specific point in the latter half of the main route of Buried Stars, the information on the following screen will be displayed. It says gameplay broadcasts. Gameplay streaming is still allowed after this hour, but redistribution is strictly prohibited. This prohibition of spoilers is to protect the rights of other game purchasers. We really appreciate your cooperation and understanding. Up until this information is displayed, the publication of in-game videos and screenshots are permitted without restriction. After this information is displayed, the following restrictions apply for the remainder of the game, including the ending credits and until the player returns to the title menu. This area will be referred to as a restricted section. Videos. Videos in the restricted section can only be transmitted in a form of live broadcast. Additionally, each of the following actions is prohibited regarding saving video in the restricted section. Publishing original or edited footage of the restricted section on a streaming service in order to be viewed again. Publishing original or edited footage of the restricted section on YouTube or similar video sharing platforms. Generating profits during the live broadcast of the restricted section. General restrictions. Regardless of the relation to the restricted section, please refrain from publishing videos and screenshots in the following cases, as they'll be considered unauthorized duplication of the game. Simply listing and posting gameplay videos without editing and publisher feedback. Simply listing and posting gameplay. So essentially what it's saying, and this is on their Steam page. Essentially what they're saying is if you are streaming the game, if you are streaming the game, you are fine. You are fine to stream the game to your heart's content as long as you're providing commentary and everything. That is fine. What is not fine, though, is redistributing. And the way when it says redistributing, it means posting a VOD. However, they're very specific with their words. Very, very specific. Let me explain it here for you guys. And this is kudos to my friend SHSL Blaze, because he's the one who streamed the game originally. He's probably one of the people who actually made this game pretty well known. However, he figured out kind of like he kind of figured out all this sort of stuff. So when we stream the game, we will be streaming, like I said, to each ending. But when the specific screen shows up, and I'm going to show you guys this right now. I think it's this monitor. Yes. This right here. There's this screen right here, gameplay broadcast. When we see this, whatever stream we are on, I don't know when it is. Like, I don't know when that happens. But whenever we see that specific screen, the stream is done. The Buried Star stream is done the moment we see that screen. Okay? That way, we have all the VODs for everything before that. Now, what happens after that? We're going to still stream the game, and we'll stream it all to completion after the restricted section. But what about the VODs? Well, like I said, specific language is used. Publishing original or edited footage of the restricted section on a streaming service in order to be viewed again. So that is Twitch. We cannot publish any video, publish any video for public viewing once that is up. It will be taken down, copyright striked, all that sort of stuff. Same thing on YouTube or similar video sharing services. But that's published. There is, once again, a way, like an alternative. And I need to pull this up so that way I can double check. 1 second. Playlists. Let me find it. Dude's got so much stuff. Once again, if you haven't checked out SHSL Blaze, you should. Because this dude, 10 out of 10. Here we go. So, he did a whole thing. He did a whole video talking about the Buried Stars, like, true ending and everything. It has to stay hidden. So we will do it as unlisted because it says we can't publish it. It has to remain unlisted. So that way it's not available for public viewing. That is the entire gist there. So once we get to that point where it says things are restricted and we can't see it, we will stream probably one more stream after that point, so that way we can get everything else in the game in one concrete stream, and then it'll just be an unlisted stream. That's just how it will go. But it will have to be deleted off of Twitch pretty much ASAP. So yeah. Now, with all that being said, I do want to say one gripe I do have with this game. And I think it's just because I am I think I'm probably very I think sheltered's probably the best way to put it from other visual novels that I do. I don't like the fact that there's no timeline. For those who don't know, a lot of other games that I have streamed with visual novels have a timeline that you can kind of jump to, so that way, like, you can jump, you don't have to replay through the entire game to get to a point. You just click a timeline and jump through it. There might be one later, I'm not sure. Maybe after we do another ending in New Game Plus, maybe one shows up. But I really don't like the fact that there's like like a timeline where you can kind of alter stuff and you have to just keep replaying through it. I mean, I can understand why, because they want you to just experience like more of the game overall and just kind of keep refreshing things, but it's really weird to me. So yeah, other than that, I'm looking forward to playing this more. However, that's where we're going to end things off here for Buried Stars. So I'm going to jump over to intermission real fast. Wit.